Hello, check, mic check, double checking. Here we go. Got the mic live, bringing down the music here. Awesome. Pop myself up on the main screen now. Let's do this thing. Hello. Got you guys right here. Excellent. Well, happy Thursday, everybody. Friday Eve for those of you who celebrate the festivities. It's just gonna be a chill Thursday evening here. Just gonna have ourselves a nice calm time, maybe watch some videos that are all over the map. I'm thinking there's some car stuff I want to do. There is some kind of like what I would consider mainstream stuff, consider some like niche stuff. I'm gonna really treat today as like a pincushion for all kinds of ideas. And if people want to tune in for some of them, they obviously are welcome to. There may be some where you kind of feel like, I don't know how I feel about this. This is kind of boring or whatever. That's okay too. I'm basically going to be throwing a lot of stuff at the wall today, so, we can kind of get a feel for it. But anyway, if that sounds nice to you, then I am excited to get the show on the road. And of course, I wouldn't be able to do it without my wonderful viewers. So nice to see Alex here. Glad to have you on the spot. And hopefully we have other people not too far behind. We got to make a crew in here to keep this thing lively. But yeah. I've got a real broad array of things to watch today, and I'll see how far we make it through them. And of course, if Jamie, shows up and wants to throw a ghost video in there or something like that, well, who are we to tell him no, right? I mean, it's only polite. We got to accept a ghost video once in a while. So anyway, how's life on your end, Alex? You go ahead, speak up. You're here. I'm going to go ahead and keep building out some more of my playlist stuff here, and then when it's ready, I will go ahead and implement it. But for the meantime, I think we are just hanging in a holding pattern until more people start showing up. Yeah, so assuming we get a few folks on the line. I know it's kind of been a case of... I haven't streamed for the last couple days, and I've kind of tried to make it into more of a, I don't want to make it every day, but at the same time, I do want to make it a regular thing so that people are inclined to show up, see what's going on, make it more fun that way. And obviously, if you're joining this stream, no need to watch, but fun process. Okay, I'll check that out, Alex. And for those who may not be aware, watching this sometime in the future, if you missed my last stream, I even had it in the title. I sold the Thunderbird. Finally sold the Thunderbird to a person who actually wants to do things with it, no less, which is fantastic because that's what I really wanted to have happen with it. I was a little stubborn selling it. I wasn't going to take the lowball offers that flew my way because I knew there was a certain limit that I would accept. But yeah, this guy basically met, slightly exceeded my bare bottom limit of what I was going to take for the car. But that's good. I think it all worked out in the end. And this guy says he's basically going to own it till he dies. So, I mean, it's in good hands, it sounds like. And it does also sound like he's going to be spending a few dollars making it nicer and fixing up the parts to turn it into real, some kind of comfy cruiser. So I'm glad to hear that. But yeah, let's take a look at Alex's link here. What do we got? Why our screwdriver took 3 years. That's a strange title. I have no idea what that even means. Context would help, but then again, it's Linus Tech Tips. They want you to click, so mission accomplished. Yeah, so just to give you an idea of some of the stuff I've got in store today. Oh, we're talking about the Linus Tech Tips screwdriver. Well, Dan apparently knows about it. Alex says, doing well. It's hot, 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Still need to catch up on the Q&A. Oh boy. There was a point in today's Q&A during my day job where I swear to God, I wanted to talk about the stuff that Anthony and Levi were kind of putting on me, talking about car stuff, but I also understood there were a lot of people with detailing related questions who wanted them answered, and our little detour, sometimes you can kind of tell I'm playing the straight man, but I seriously have like no idea when these guys are going to start messing with me and like throw wrenches into our, show. So I have to be the one to kind of like reel it in, even though I want to have fun too. I have to be the one to like reel it in sometimes because these guys are going off in tangents like, oh, what kind of car would you buy? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I want to do that stuff, but I also am highly aware that there are people over there waiting with a question about coding or something, and they don't have all the time in the world to wait for us to banter and then get to their question. I want it to be a good blend, but I didn't want to get stuck on a too far down a detour because that's also the kind of stuff where I do this. So, yeah, Alex, there's a couple of reveals in the works that you are going to have to wait for next week. It sounds like new product drops, and then also ADA drops his reveal. Now I've already seen the promo footage that he's putting together for his intro on his new video, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. The stuff we shot out the back of my van, very nice, looking real good. So kudos to Jimmy for getting those shots. He's going to be doing the color correction though, because honestly, we can't trust Anthony to color correct that stuff himself. It just won't turn out right. He can edit a video though. He'll deny it all day long, but he knows how to edit a video. Let's see. I need to put up my conspiracy theory post before he reveals it. I've seen a lot of guesses, and it's pretty funny. Like for those who are like way too dialed in to the regular occurrences around my day job, I posted in my day job's group on Facebook where I responded to that guy who was like claiming that one of these products came from a company that was actually posing as something other than it was. Like, oh, this country says this brand says it's from Switzerland, but actually it's just a cheap China coating, blah 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 blah. And it's just like spewing bullshit, like complete and utter bullshit, easily verifiable as bullshit if you took 5 seconds to look at it. But the problem is a lot of people swipe through these comment sections, they see something like that, and whether they think it's true or not, that little bit of information, wrong as it is, will stick in someone's head. And then the next time they have a conversation regarding that thing, then they'll be like, oh yeah, I heard that that's actually a cheap China thing. It's just another white label, coating this or that. And it's like, no, it's not. And I'm not even going to allow somebody to start some bullshit on that. So yeah, I shut him down real hard, real fast. But I was enjoying everybody going, ooh, dark Dane. We're doing aggressive Dane. He's laying down the law on this. Okay, I got a little passionate, but at the same time, I was sticking to the facts. So I tried to make it pretty straightforward. It was funny though, just seeing the amount of reaction that got out of people. But really, it was just on a random YouTube video where somebody decided to spout off, and they were really, really wrong, and they deserve to be called out. So yeah, facts matter. So yeah, I just made sure that we settled that nice and clear, nice and fast. It was so funny because he was just like, oh yeah, has anybody actually been to the factory or the lab and seen like where they're actually making this stuff? I'm like, funny you should ask. Here's a video we just released last week of our time in their lab doing just that thing. So yeah, we can kind of just put that one to bed. But it is funny. And what I really loved was at the end of it, as the clincher, remember this is a Swiss brand, and their emails and their website, their official website and everything ended .ch. So this guy's like, conspiracy. See, it's China. CH is for China. And it's like, actually, no, that's part of the switch program for internet protocol in Switzerland. The Swiss actually use .ch as the extension for their domains. Like that has been since 1987 or 88. That has been the internet extension for Swiss domains. Say what you will, but I mean that goes back. There's hard and firm actual stuff there. So it's just so funny just seeing that. But yeah, so I basically called that out too, and I just said basically 5 seconds on Wikipedia would have shown you that that's not the case. And a Google search, if you don't trust Wikipedia, here's a bunch of other sources that also say that. If you're wondering what the extension is for Chinese websites and domains and stuff, CH sounds like it'd be right, but it's actually not. It's actually CN. So just for future reference, CN is a Chinese extension for a website, typically for domains. Granted, any company can have any domain they want as long as they buy it from whoever has it, or however they want to get the domain. That's how they do that. But as a matter of principle, the way these things usually work is .ch is Swiss and .cn is Chinese. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Now, I got a few people in here. Perfect. Building it out. Jamie the Cleaner popping in with his fish face saying woo. I'm glad to see. Got you in here. Yeah, let me adjust my Adorino. There we go. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the action. I've got myself some videos here. I saw this and thought it would be fun. Got a disaster barnyard find, abandoned in the woods, first washed since 1997, Volkswagen Beetle, detailing restoration. So Thursdays, they're not Mondays, so it's not detailing focused exclusively, but I am going to touch on some detailing stuff today because I feel like it, and it surrounds cars. So while we have theme days, I am going to play a little loosey-goosey with the rules on occasion. Today is Thursday transmission. It is a streaming transmission with a little bit of a car pun in it. So we'll do mostly car stuff, but I'll throw some other weirdo things in there too, just to see how many people pay attention. All right. So I knew the web extension bit for my day job. Yeah, Dan, I believe that. I can see that. Some people know, some people don't. And some people just need to get fucking told, okay? Yeah, so I got Alex here. What's going on? Oh my. Oh, that is so loud. What? This is some very Canadian stuff going on here. That iPhone cinematic mode focus. Yeah, all right. And followed by... Wait a second. They both the same thing? No, they're not. Oh my god, that's loud. Holy shit. What? Oh, whoa. It took me 3 watches to realize what was actually going on there. Oh my god. Yeah, Dan. So that's a quote. Yeah, that's fun. Wow. Somebody is going to recreate that now. Jesus. Yeah. So we got a few fun things here. But let's start things off nice and simple. We got our Volkswagen Bug, and it's looking a little rough. Maybe we want to see it get fixed up. That Bayou. That's right. Okay. Turn on the volume for this guy. Won't blow your eardrums out, I promise. And let's go. If you got suggestions for me, obviously, throw them in the chat. You can go ahead and tell me a little bit about them. If there's something I feel like watching today, we'll watch it. If there's something I don't feel like watching today, but I like it, I might save it for a future show. Just beware. I may or may not use it, but, it's going to be there for a future show. I'll add it to my lists. Yeah. So anyway, let's get to it.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Brent, and today we have a really cool backstory on this Volkswagen Beetle that was just pulled out of the woods for the first time since 1997. And first and foremost, check out this gnarly spider web. I have no clue how long it took the spider to make it, but I felt so bad when we vacuumed it up. So the woman who owns this car now, her dad bought it for her as her first car.
Yo, look at that dent on the roof. Okay. I'm about to be very embarrassed here. Roof. Rough is something dogs do. Roof is something over your head. Roof is still something over your head, as far as I'm concerned. Do people get annoyed at how I pronounce that? Is it like a whole envelope situation? I say envelope, but maybe that just sounds pretentious. I don't know. Leave your verdicts in the chat. Moving on.
And then eventually they had to sell it, but years later they tried to seek it out again, and they think that this yellow bug is the same one that she had when she was younger.
I hadn't heard that.
So her dad bought it for her again, but eventually he passed away, so this is something that she can remember him by, and she'll...
Well, based on the dents on this bug, I think he landed on it.
be moving down to Florida sometime soon, and she has plans to turn it into a dune buggy or something of that sort.
Ooh,
and
smart.
as you guys know, we always do a question of the video, so leave your answers in the comments below. For this one, I'm curious what you guys would do with this car if your father left it to you. Would you restore it like she has plans to? Do you think it's too far gone because it was sat outside for so long? And then lastly, I don't really do this.
Yeah, Alex, that bug got stomped. Roof and crick. Okay, I say creek. I don't say crick, but I realize crick is like a very specific thing. If you grew up in a more rural setting, there's a good chance you say crick instead of creek, but more power to you. As far as this bug goes, it's an interesting question he poses. Say your dad or whoever the father, mother figure, whatever your parent is in your situation, they leave you a car, right? Do you fix it up, restore it, and keep it as a sentimental keepsake? Probably depends on the interactions you have with it as a kid. Or do you just sell it? I mean, some people might think you're a little cold-hearted for selling it, but at the same time, yeah, the NordVPN ad, I saw that. Oh, YouTube, yeah, you gotta make a buck. Yeah, so when it comes to receiving a car, though, from a parent, and it's just gifted down to you, maybe they pass away, or they just decide they're alive, but they want to, pass it along, or it comes from some other family member, do you fix it up? Do you actually take the steps, the money, the elbow grease, the, blood, sweat, and tears it takes to make something nice again after it's sat for a long time? Or do you just sell it as is? Because I'll be honest, I don't know the Volkswagen Bug market very well in terms of values. I feel like they're kind of all over the place because it obviously depends. If you have like a model from the 50s or 60s, I think that's worth a lot more, presumably, even in rougher shape, than the ones that came in the 70s and the 80s and like the ones that get imported from like Mexico and Brazil and stuff, the continuation models. Because they made those up until like 2006, right? In Mexico? Pretty sure. But yeah, it's interesting just to think about. But yeah, I'm just curious. Like, if anybody actually knows Volkswagen values, let me know.
This too often, but I'm gonna set a pretty huge like goal in this video, so let's see if we can get this to 10,000 likes.
Oh my god. Oh shit. WD Detailing has 375,000 subscribers. How is it that there's like these detailing channels I have never heard of? I have them at my list just because I searched detailing and thought, oh, that looks interesting, add it to my list. I have no idea who WD Detailing is, but I guess we're going to find out, if they deserve that many followers. Maybe, presumably, they're really good at putting together videos. Are they more of a YouTuber or more of a detailer? I'm curious. Not that it really matters, but, discuss. Then somebody comes in, why not both? Okay. It's on IKHF sprayer. I'm already more inclined. Western Digital Detailing. Now all we need is like a Westinghouse detailing. Dan, don't feel bad. If you gotta go watch Critical Role, you gotta do what you gotta do. Same time, I also know as soon as you leave for that, you're not coming back, because that's gonna be how many hours? It's usually like 3 or 5, right? Shit's long.
So after we cleaned the wheels, we went ahead and started working on the engine bay, where we took a vacuum first to suck out
mostly
any
just
of the
surface
loose
rust,
debris, and then used a leaf blower afterwards to make sure we got as much as we possibly could.
Mostly curious to see how the seals around the engine compartment and the hoses held up
before using the pressure washer.
Yeah, usually 3.5 hours. There you go.
Most likely seized after sitting for so long, but we still figured we'd clean it in case a mechanic down the line decides to work on it. We want them to have a cleaner workspace, and no one likes working on a dirty car.
Unless your actual job is cleaning it, in which case, hey, that's kind of the point. Alex, I'm not sure if you're joking or if you're seriously asking, but the answer is some really nerdy shit. Now, granted, I say that with love, but I don't watch it myself, but I know just from experience, it is some very, like, amusing but very nerdy stuff. So it's an acquired taste for sure. They are pretty entertaining, though. You'd probably have to be like at least semi interested in going to like a Renaissance fair or something though, mixed with humor. But yeah, it's like a bunch of voice actors and they play Dungeons and Dragons and they stream it. And every episode, well, actually, I don't even know if it's live streamed. No, I don't think it is. I think they actually cut the episodes after recording them. But anyway, yeah, no, it's a lot. Fun trivia game with friends. Question: how much coolant does a 70s Beetle take? Watch their heads melt. The answer is 0. Yes, it's 0. No problem, Alex. Glad to help. If you're looking for a different take with more or less the same kind of people, I mean, I don't know how exactly to explain it. Amazon has a series on it called The Legend of Vox Machina, which is, I guess, tangentially tied to at least one of the campaigns that the Critical Role people did. Like, I sound so dumb explaining this because I don't watch it. I don't know that stuff, but I'm like in the orbit, so I understand enough. And my girlfriend watches it religiously, so I hear that. But yeah, Amazon did an animated series based on the stories that they created. Used to live stream, now they're taped. Got it. Okay. Cleaning out that engine bay. That's the most water cooling that thing has ever gotten.
So now before the really satisfying pressure washing, we go ahead and cover the entire car with a...
I was gonna say, man, the color choice of a tire here, it's like, it's all blended into like piglet colors. It's basically shades of like salmon and just the faintest pink, almost like a nude color, but it's not quite as warm orangey. It's more of the, yeah, it's got more like blue in it. Really interesting. Hot Pockets! Yes, you heard me.
the paint safe degreaser to loosen up all that grime and make it really easy to get
I mean,
off.
it's styling. What can I say?
And now a word from our sponsors.
Oh, damn
Thank
it.
you so much.
NordVPN snuck in. Almost
Why?
got us, man. We're cruising through.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
Yes, we know. NordVPN sponsors lots of YouTubers. Got it. Damn it, they almost got me. Also, Alex, did I not also say salmon? There's a bit of a delay here. Ooh, yeah, looking at cutting through. That's satisfying. It would have been cool to see some footage of them actually literally pulling this thing out of the woods. Jamie, there's zero commentary on the color being, you know, masculine or feminine. My mere point in addressing that, like pointing it out, was the fact that he didn't just have one salmon colored article of clothing. Like literally from his hat to his shirt to his pants, everything was more or less variations on the same theme. Just, it was amusing. Yeah, what kind of PDR tools are going to remove that beastly dent in the roof? The funny thing is, with the amount of interior like insulation and just ways to prevent noise, vibration, harshness that existed when the Beetle was being made, it should be pretty easy. You can almost just sit there from the inside and just keep punching until it figures the mold back out. Legend of Vox Machina, loosely based on the first campaign of Critical Role, creative direction is completely determined by the Critical Role cast. did change some things since the format is 20-minute animated episodes versus the 3.5 hour live play episode. Yeah, obviously condensed. But no, I watched like all of Legend of Vox Machina with Liz, and it was amusing. It was fun. So yeah, I mean, there's that. Some of it is like there's a certain level of like nerd humor where I'm just kind of like I enjoy nerdy references and stuff, but there's sort of like a really it feels like such lazy writing sometimes when there's a certain kind of like nerd sarcasm that happens, and it just grates on my nerves. It's one of those things where I feel like if I looked hard enough I could probably find it on the TV Tropes website. But yeah, no, that kind of humor just feels like really low effort to me. So there's some of that too, but I think that's just anybody who's spent enough time around any kind of like D&D type people or cosplay people or any of that stuff, you run into that sense of humor sometimes, and it's not for everybody. I find it's a little grating sometimes. Ooh, now that's satisfying. Cutting that mold moss out, whatever green stuff was on there. Holy shit, Alex. Random thought of the day. Today I learned pro-level saxophones are insanely expensive. Coworker plays sax in an orchestra and I found out you can spend $30K plus on a hella ballin' saxophone. That has to be like some insane like handmade one-off for that price. That's nuts. Like I get guitars, like even a pro level in terms of like the way the instrument works. On a professional level, they're going to be similar. There'll be like small variations based on the individual characteristics of the person playing it, but for the most part, like an off-the-shelf one, you're not spending more than a few grand for like a really nice one. $30K though, that's crazy. Now, granted, I do literally live barely a mile down the road from Bowling Guitars, and if you're not familiar with Bowling Guitars, they make some very big deal guitars for people. So you can look them up if you're curious, but Bolin. Look at some of the people they've made guitars for. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, Dan. Liz basically explained the doors being difficult thing, and that was funny. Like when I got that was funny. There's just a particular kind of nerd humor that involves actually kind of like you'd think, but it's that kind of like weird nerd rage kind of, I don't know, it's just a particular kind of humor that just drives me crazy and it annoys me to no end. It feels like low effort sometimes. I'm not saying the show was like that, but I'm saying it had some moments that had those elements. But it's also kind of a trope that's tied into the medium of cartoons and animated stuff, so I give it a pass. Bucky sending over. What? Oh my god. So we're just taking a peek here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that is, wow. It better ooze quality. It's 26 grand. Yeah, okay. Jeez. Well, that's fun. Yeah, it's mind-blowing sax.
And after the initial rinse, we were finally ready to push the car back into our new shop. And by the way, if you guys want to see a full tour of that when it's completely done, leave a comment down below and let us know.
On the upside, pushing a Volkswagen Bug around is an incredibly easy thing to do. Fun fact, when my mom was in high school, she actually drove a Volkswagen Bug through her high school, kind of as a prank, but oh yeah, they were in big trouble. But they managed to avoid the worst of it, so yeah, that's a pretty cool rebellious thing they did. As some kind of like senior prank or whatever. Made more important by the fact that this was like a strict Catholic high school, so like she did not enjoy growing up in the Catholic school environment at all, but going there and doing that, you can imagine how like much more strict the administrators and people were too. Yeah, Alex, no, that was genuinely interesting. That is some nice foam, right? I mean, he's using a PF22. Got the right gear. It's looking good. Clean up that Volkswagen badge. It's always such a minor thing, but one of the ways I tell, like, newer bugs from older bugs apart, other than simply the headlights and taillights, is also this like little area below the vents, below the louvers, this kind of nub that sticks out like a handle. It acts as sort of like a little canopy or a little awning over where the license plate would go usually. But on the later models, it's like a pretty wide, almost oval that comes to almost like a little triangular point you can see there. Whereas on the earlier models, it was much smaller, it was more narrow. Super minor difference, but it's just one of those weird little things I use as like a memory visual clue. That, and obviously the taillights became a lot bigger, broader, and flatter on the later models versus the early ones, which were more classic looking, neater, tidier, smaller. I mean, some people may think they all look the same, but to me, the earlier bugs look vastly better than the later bugs. This detail sponsored by MaxShine. We knock everything off so you don't have to. Beautiful. Oh, jeez. Okay, Dan's sending me crazy stuff now. Let's see. After serious illness. Not to laugh at the dead here, but falling out of a window. Serious illness? Huh.
Okay, this part's so satisfying as we spray the iron fallout remover on the car.
Also, for the record, since you were talking about the saxophone thing, as far as the Bolin guitars are concerned, they make guitars for ZZ Top and Taylor Swift and of other people, but ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons would be like the #1 user of their custom guitars, so that's fun. Split window bug was best. Yeah, no, split windows are dope.
Car, watch all of the iron coming off of it turn purple.
Yeah, look at that.
And what we're doing here is using a clay pad on a buffer instead of a clay bar because it makes the process a lot quicker, and a lot of this grime was still stuck to the paint and it would have taken us forever to get it off.
Yeah, Dan, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Alright guys, so if you saw our camera video, which is maybe 2 or 3 videos ago, the hood, or the roof rather, on that Camry had a big dent on it, and
Look at
went
the
into
slope
the
in
inside
that
of the car
thing.
and we were able to punch it out. This car also obviously has a huge dent, and I think it's because a tree fell on it, if I'm not mistaken. That's what the
Tree
owner said.
fell on it.
So there's dents all over, but we think that would be able
Must
to
have been a
pop the
storm
slab
or
from the
something.
inside. So we're gonna give it a shot and hopefully have a little bit flatter of a roof here. So here we go.
Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. Remember what I said about just sitting inside and punching until it went back? Yeah.
PDR, baby.
Kind of. Of course, you know, you sit there and you look at that and you think, oh yeah, yeah, it's just as strong in an accident. Can handle a human fist just being jammed at it for a couple of minutes and dented it right on back. The hood would be a little trickier. I'm wondering if that's rust or staining of some kind. You can kind of see near the center of the hood on the right side, just that kind of off-color staining. PDR tools required are a 6' nothing male with green gloves going Falcon Punch straight up mode on the ceiling. I mean, the Bug is not a large car, so not too bad to polish, really. I mean, it's coming out nice.
And after getting the paint polish, we went ahead and moved on to the chrome, which was pretty rusted. So we used some steel wool and some metal polish, and it cleaned it right up.
Wow, look at how much of that surface stuff is coming right off. That's pretty nice, actually. Yeah, not too much got deeper than steel wool was able to handle. Huh. I mean, it's pitted and everything, but still not bad.
And now with everything polished, we went ahead and used our buffer to apply some Colinite 845 wax to get the paint completely protected.
Don't you love that, Alex? He's got a Viper, he just didn't sit on it. It's right there out of frame. Yeah, for once you can't use that. They don't have a Viper. They'd be so much better if they had a Viper. In this case, he does. You're right.
And moving on
Alex,
to the interior, if you look closely, we found the hubcaps, so we went ahead and cleaned those a little bit later, and we put them on the wheels, but we did that after the interior.
Okay. First, we gotta deal with that gnarly looking spider web. Holy crap. What did the spider look like that made that? I bet this guy buys from Obsessed Garage. Oh dear. Now even so, look at how much rust made its way into the floor pan there. I wonder how much went through. Or if any of it went through, because some of those look like they might be holes, but it just might be stuff kind of piled on top. It's hard to say. Okay, yeah, some stuff on top. Doesn't look like it actually went through. Unfortunately, I'm not sure it would take much in order to go through them. Spider's like, the fuck you doing in my house? Yeah, he just found himself a nice cozy home, and here you come with your detailing tools, your dent removal, and your vacuums, and your fans. Poor Spider's just having a shit time. There's a lot of stuff.
Now, this was kind of fun to show. It was probably not so fun for RJ to have to actually do, but cleaning the vinyl top, he used the Tornador that has the APC attachment, and it actually made it a breeze. It's just kind of awkward shooting it up in the air, and then things might fall
number
on
one,
your face. But
you don't want to be breathing that shit, so it's good he's got a respirator on for that. That would be nasty. Especially if it's been sitting on the woods that long. Yeah, there's just stuff you don't want to get in your lungs. Handles beside e-brake look odd. That is interesting. I don't mean that pejoratively. Like the fact that he's got a PF22 Vibra chair and he used Colonite 845. I mean, there are definitely signs, Dan. I'm not disagreeing. I find this interesting though. I always get nervous when people do headliners because it's one of those things where it looks simple enough, but it's very easy to accidentally screw up the adhesive hold or whatever's actually holding your headliner up to the ceiling. If you wear away, say like you accidentally melt or whatever the adhesive that's there, you get a saggy headliner, and that sucks. You don't want to do that to a customer. That's why we usually recommend just doing like O&R there, because it's totally safe. It's not going to burn off anything. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to clean what's there and not damage anything else. So even here with the Tornador, I think that's fine mostly for what they're doing here, but it's definitely something you want to be careful about.
But
then
anyways,
again, the car's
if you
already
guys
rough,
enjoyed
so
this
like worst
video,
case
don't
scenario,
forget to like it.
small,
and
you just
also
buy a
leave
new
a comment
headliner.
down below in this exact condition what you would do with this car.
Look how much nicer that turned out. Simple door cards. They're gonna clean up nice though, I bet. Whoopsie, Alex. You have some of the stuff Dan's pointing out. Bring back vinyl headliners. That was satisfying. Yes. My JDM van has a vinyl headliner. It's great. Cleans up easily. You don't have to worry about it much. Holds tight up there. Like, you don't have to worry about any sagging or weirdness. Like, it's been good. And it's old. It's not this old, but it's old. It's a 94. Here we go. Blast those guys a little bit. No, Dan, Obsessed Garage is not passe now. It's just, you know, there's a crowd for it and a crowd who do not care for it. There's nothing wrong with it if it's what you want to carry. It's just a matter of, like, okay, using context clues to find the overlap. When people feel confident that someone else did the research for them or something, then they'll just go ahead and get that thing that they like. Controversial opinion, I like it better without the wheel covers. I like the black steel better. Honestly, Alex, like, Matt's surprisingly funny in person. He's actually got a pretty solid sense of humor, but yeah, his cadence and his manner of speaking, he would be definitely good at, like, doing one of those books on tape that, like, puts people to sleep. There's definitely a market for that, too. But yeah, it's not quite Ben Stein, but he'd still think it's funny. And then he would still end the day by going, yeah, now I'm going to go drive my Porsche. And he'd be like, eh, okay. Okay, well, that was lovely. Oh my god, a Buick Riata. And that looks fake, dude. What the? Don't click it, Dane. Don't click it. We're not watching that yet, but okay. Back or something. But yeah, that was good. Enjoyed that. He has a shirt that says half a movie. Half a movie was one of my favorite things he ever did. It was so funny. Yeah, he certainly has a very calming voice. You know, it is a peaceful voice. It is absolutely, it's just gonna send you back to sleep. So, okay, we've got that one knocked out. Congratulations. We're changing gears now. This one's going to be real random. That's right. It's that kind of day. You don't know what you're going to get because I'm at the helm and I'm throwing whatever I want at the wall just to see if it sticks. So, next up, we have Science Insider with eye doctors debunk 13 more vision myths. I did not see the earlier one of this series, but I'm just going to go ahead and let's just watch it. Why not?
Eye exercises will improve your vision.
Can I just do this, please?
Yes.
Contact lenses can get lost behind your eye.
Oh, that sounds horrifying.
No.
If you sneeze with your eyes open, they'll pop out.
Jesus.
I don't know where to start with this. Myth.
Hi, my name is Dr. Ronnie Bannick. I'm a board-certified ophthalmologist and neuro-ophthalmologist.
And I'm Dr. Jennifer Tsai, practicing optometrist in New York City. I specialize in medical and aesthetic eye care.
And today we will be debunking myths about vision.
2020 means you have perfect vision.
Ah, that's a good one. A lot of people think 2020 means perfect vision, but there is so much to vision beyond just reading the eye chart and reading down to 20/20. And when we say 20/20 vision, it means that this chart is at 20 feet away from the patient, and they can read all the way down to this line right here. There are other lines below that. Some people can actually read even better than 20/20. But there's so many other components of vision.
Did you notice how in this shot, the eye chart is out of focus? So you're immediately questioning yourself. Wait. It's okay. Need to get a checkup. I mean, I'm saying this as the only one of our crew who's not, actively wearing glasses every day between Levi and Anthony and myself. The funny thing is, like, growing up, I always had glasses. Glasses were a fixture for me. But it's something where for the last, 15 years, I have not really worn them. Maybe not 15, maybe more like 10. Same time though, yeah, I just haven't worn them because I'm farsighted, so I've kind of been able to get away with it. Not that it makes it okay, but one eye is clearly better than my other eye, so it was something that always just kind of intrigued me. But yeah, I should probably go get checked up and see, maybe getting glasses, in the not too distant future might help me. I don't know. I haven't run into a situation where I feel like I really need it yet, but, it's just something to always kind of keep, not back of mind, but close.
Some people can actually read even better than 20/20. But there's so many other components of vision. For example,
gotta love when you're a doctor in a field that 92% of the world can't pronounce. I mean, ophthalmologist definitely sounds like something where if you have a lisp, it's not going to be a fun time.
There's color vision, there's peripheral vision, there's contrast.
And we also check for near point vision, which has to do with reading up close. And technically, you could have 20/20 vision, but have a condition such as glaucoma, which can cause peripheral vision loss, which means you have perfect 20/20 vision in the center, but you might have side vision loss.
Blue light will damage my eyes.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what to think about that.
Back in 2018, there was a study that came out that the media picked up on, and they said, oh, blue light is going to damage your retina. It's going to cause permanent blindness.
Which caused like every single browser and iOS and operating system in the world to suddenly implement like, oh, eye saver mode. And TVs do this too. If you look in the settings on newer TVs, they totally have like an eye saver mode where it just everything gets like way warmer and it dials out all the blue in the light, but I don't know. I never noticed a huge difference in the strain. It seemed different. I will say, placebo effect when it comes to, looking on the phone between the night mode and day mode. That affects my eyes a little differently. I do find that helps me. But on computer monitors, larger screens and stuff, not the case. I think a lot of it has to do with when I'm on my phone, it's much like closer than any of these other screens are, so I just treat it differently.
What the researchers did in the study was they took cells, they put them in a petri dish, and they exposed those cells to high levels of blue light, and they found out that those cells died. The truth is,
Alex, you got bronchitis? No, don't do that.
the cells that they put in that petri dish were not even eye cells. They were cervical cancer cells.
What?
So our retina cells have pigments that protect us against blue light. They're called lutein and zeaxanthin. They're like our natural blue blockers, and they protect our eyes against blue light. So there is no proof
So what the hell was the point of that study?
Proof that blue light damages your eyes. And if it were really true, we would actually have a pandemic of blindness because all of us are on devices all the time, children, adults, and it's just not true.
We do know that it affects our sleep and it does cause insomnia because it changes our circadian rhythm. So when you wear blue light coating on your glasses, it does help with light sensitivity and glare and just generally making you feel more comfortable when you're doing work. So there is no downside to it.
The tint does make a difference because if you put on the lighter tint blue blockers and if you look at your screen, if you can still see the color blue, it means that that blue blocker is not blocking out 100% of the blue light. Maybe it's blocking out a certain lower percentage, maybe 30 to 40%, versus if you put on these are the super duper blue blockers. If you look at a screen with these on, you don't see any blue whatsoever. So
First of all, you look like you're in a John Woo movie from the late 90s, early 2000s.
So, for example, if I'm having trouble sleeping and I
Or
need to
you're
use my computer at night,
Ben
I'll wear
Affleck's
these at
Daredevil.
nighttime, 2 hours before bed, so it doesn't really interfere with my sleep. The other thing that can happen when you're on a screen for a long time is probably you're not blinking enough, so you're probably also getting dry eye, and that's probably also contributing to the eye strain.
You will lose your vision as you age. I hear this all the time from my patients.
I have patients who are older, your 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90-year-old patients who still have 20/20 vision.
Sometimes the dinner menu gets harder to read at the restaurant and I tell them that's absolutely normal. That's not losing your vision, it's just that our vision starts to change in the other direction sometimes. So when we're referring to presbyopia, that is the gradual change when our eyes are not able to accommodate or focus on near objects as well, and we tend to hold things further back.
So why does
I'm sorry, I can't come to the party tonight. My eyes are Presbyterian.
this happen? Well, it's because inside the eye, we have a lens. Now, normally the lens is very flexible and it can change shape. Sometimes it can get thicker or thinner in the middle that allows us to focus at different distances. As we get older, though, this lens just doesn't change shape as well. It becomes more stiff, and when it becomes more stiff,
Yeah, Dan, you want this video? I'll go ahead and share it. Up, up, boom. Look at that. Ain't that service? Bam. There you go.
that is called
All right,
loss
have
of
fun watching
accommodation or
Critical.
presbyopia. And again, that usually happens to most people sometime in their 40s or 50s.
We also notice that over time, our
I'm glad
eyes
you
start to
enjoyed that.
improve as we get older. It has to do with the fact that as we grow, our eyes elongate, and that can lead to myopia or nearsightedness. And over time, just like our body can shrink, our eyes can shrink shorter, and that can lead our prescription to go the opposite way.
There's lots that can go wrong, but as long as you see your eye doctor regularly, you get checked for it, you get it taken care of, you can still maintain good 20/20 vision into your golden years.
That mean my eyes are caked? How's that work?
LASIK means no glasses forever.
Ah.
I wish that were true, but there is no guarantee with any kind of procedure that your vision will be.
It's a good
what
rule,
you hope it
Alex.
to be.
LASIK is just resetting your prescription back to zero. So LASIK can provide sharp, clear vision, but that doesn't mean it can prevent myopia regression or the need for reading glasses.
Sometimes there can be regression, which
Anybody
means that
here in the
after
chat
6
have
months or a
LASIK?
year, the cornea may start to change back into its natural shape. For the most part, it is
I'm always curious to hear from people who had the actual service done and whether it, worked for a while or if you felt any pain or anything like that. Just, it seems like everybody's got a different take on it, but it's been pretty established for years, so I assume there are more good stories than bad. I know my dad got it. He seemed to be did get glasses later, so oh, maybe he didn't get LASIK. Maybe a slight adjustment, but I thought they used lasers for something. Anyway, just thinking out loud.
very, very safe, but just make sure you talk to your surgeon about it first to make sure that you're a good candidate, because not everyone is a good candidate.
Okay.
G. Davis's eyes
colorblind
can't
myth
come out on Saturdays. Got to keep that Sabbath on point. That's right, Alex. That's right.
equals seeing in black and white.
This is an interesting one. A lot of people think that if you have color blindness, that's all you're going to see is like monochrome, but
Oh, it just means you can't differentiate between like red and green and stuff.
it's not true. Most people who have color blindness, or what we call color deficiency, have issues with seeing different shades of reds and greens and sometimes also oranges and yellows. It's not that they can't see those colors, they just see those colors differently. So we have cells in our retinas called photoreceptors. The rods are responsible for light and dark vision. The cones are responsible for color vision. So we have red cones, green cones, and blue cones.
Yeah,
And
Alex.
these cones are all
I'd be really disappointed if I got it and at the end I wasn't able to like cyclops my way out of the patient office.
Tuned into certain wavelengths. So in people who are colorblind, it's not that they don't have those cones, it's just that those cones are set to a different wavelength. So instead of seeing a red as bright red, they may see it kind of as a muted color or maybe as like an orange or yellow. Actually, it's pretty common in the population to have color blindness.
I think it's like 8% of the population. If you go to the eye doctor, they can do a color test on you. It shows you numbers within patterns of color, and it tests
This video's making you squint. Oh no, I'm sorry.
How much color blindness there is over a spectrum, but it really doesn't impact
Alex, never lose your ability to see bullshit. That's important. Don't lose it.
someone's life at all. People with color blindness function completely normally, and there is no long-term issue with that. Eye exercises will improve your vision. What do you think about that?
This is a myth. Can I just do this, please?
Yes.
Forget about it. So there is just so much misinformation out there when it comes to eye exercise.
What's funny is you can see just in the way she's expressing with her eyes, she's keeping a calm demeanor as she like says this stuff, but you can already feel like there's something in the back of her mind just like seething rage, just waiting to explode.
As many people think that if they do certain exercises, that will help them decrease their myopia or their hyperopia or their astigmatism. I wish that were true, but there is no truth to that. Our eyes are shaped in a certain way, our corneas are shaped a certain way, the length of the eye is a certain way, and what you do in terms of exercises will not change that. So it is probably one of the biggest myths out there.
You may have heard of the 20-20-20 rule, which is every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break to look at something 20 feet away. And really the whole goal of that is just to allow your eyes to relax off into the distance. So that does help relieve a little bit of that strain, but it certainly isn't something that corrects for your vision.
There is one condition where eye exercises can help. It's a condition called convergence insufficiency, where if we're looking at something up close for a long time, the eyes get fatigued and start to drift out a little bit. So there is one exercise called pencil push-ups where people can help strengthen those muscles and help them focus longer and not feel that fatigue. Maybe it'll prevent them from seeing double, but it won't actually change the power or the refraction of the eye. So I think the best way to improve your vision is simply to go to the eye doctor, find out what the issue is, and get it taken care of.
Wearing glasses
Oh, these guys are just shills for big eye doctor.
will make your vision worse.
I get this all the time from my patients. Like, doctor, really do I need to wear these glasses? Isn't it going to make things worse? The truth is, no. What happens is when people are seeing blurry, they wear their glasses, and then they see clearly, but then they take their glasses off, all of a sudden they're seeing blurry again.
Wearing them or not wearing them does not cause progression. The change has more to do with genetics and just natural axial elongation of your eyeball.
So an analogy I like to use with my patients is, let's say you hurt your ankle and you can't walk properly, so use a crutch. It's going to help you, but it's not actually going to worsen your ankle. So if your eye doctor thinks you need glasses or contacts and
fair way to
prescribes
look
them
at
for
it.
you, it's for your benefit. It will help you see better, so please wear them. Dry eyes
Please, for the love of God, wear them. I'm sick of seeing.
aren't very serious.
I'm just feeling, for some reason, I think I'm totally projecting on this, but I feel like I'm reading some like deep well of anger just below the surface at all the people who annoyed her.
Yes.
That's a tricky one. Most of the time, dry eyes might not be serious, but it could cause.
That's right, Alex. You go get your eye exams at Costco. Next thing you're done, you go get yourself a $1.50 hot dog and a soda. Make sure you exercise by walking around the entire Costco parking lot afterwards. Then we're good.
Potential issues that lead to scarring on the cornea. I would say 80% of the population might
eyes
feel some sort of
suck.
dryness. In fact, children are experiencing it
use
at a
eye
much
drops,
younger
though.
age. We're
Maybe I'm
noticing
lucky like that, but-
statistically speaking, about 125 million people ages 18 to 50 experience dryness, but they don't report it or do anything for it. So if you can
Unless I'm
imagine,
one of those,
when we
that's a
are
lot of
looking at
people.
our phones or reading a book, we tend to just stare, and that means our blink rate decreases by at least a half. So we lose our blink completeness, and over time, our tears can evaporate much, much quicker.
But when you go see your eye doctor, usually they'll use different dyes or colored strips that can help to stain the cornea to see exactly how much dryness you have and where the dryness is. And there are actually ways to also image the glands. The truth is, you really need to use the drops very.
It almost feels like a cruel joke that in this whole video, they talked about blue light and some other stuff, that, okay, you have these two ladies sitting here on presumably stools or something on a set, and behind them is just this like super vibrant blue background that yeah, when you look at, see on camera, look at how much it's like coloring my face and everything, but when it goes away from that scene, it actually doesn't look that bad at all. But this is like super blue right now.
Very often, it's not just once a day, you need to use them multiple
When
times
they
during the
disappear?
day. Dry eyes like dry skin.
Goes to B-roll
lubricate
again?
frequently. It's okay to get generic as long as you look at the ingredients, and there's no ingredient called polyvinyl alcohol. If you see anything with alcohol in there, please don't buy it, because that can actually irritate your eyes even more.
Ooh.
It's not fully pH balanced to your eye. It could actually
Like how the
make
stock
things worse.
footage is a Kindle and what appears to be Russian. It's a Russian Kindle and some stock footage. You know, we picked up what we could for the video. No big.
In most cases, dry eyes are not serious, but sometimes they can be. So don't let it get to that level where it becomes serious. If you sneeze with your eyes open, they'll pop out. I'll let you take that.
Yeah. I don't know where to start with this. Myth. There's a certain condition that can cause proptosis, which is the bulging of the eyes. Though it's rare, it just has to do with the elasticity of the lid itself. If you have more lax lids in the eyes, when you sneeze, it can pop out a bit. But certainly, they don't fall out. You don't have to search for them on the floor or anything like that.
We actually have in our eye socket, it's a really intricate network of muscles and connective tissue that keep the eye in its place. So you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, there's some on the bottom, 4, and then there's 2 others in the back. So there's 6 eye muscles behind each eye. These eye muscles are connected to the back of the eye socket. They hold everything in place. So there is
Good God, could you imagine everybody who don't get panel wipe in your eyes? Holy shit, can you imagine? Oh my God. That would be brutal. That's like some Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon level torture that they would inflict on their enemies. Like, all right, get this guy's eyes open. Panel wipe him. Oh, God. Yeah, whoa. Many texts. Okay, they were just asking about Day Shift on Netflix, and I was explaining it's a fun time, but it's not like super memorable or anything, but it's a fun movie, and, you know, I enjoyed it. But yeah, it's just kind of like popcorn. You just enjoy it while it's there, and then when it's gone, it's just poof, out of your head.
no way that the eye could actually come out of the eye socket. It's a good thing.
Our eyes actually automatically close when we sneeze as a natural reflex, and it has to do with our body's way to really expel what it thinks is an issue or bacteria. So it's probably impossible to sneeze with your eyes open, so just let your body do its thing.
But good Lord, that would be terrifying, would it not? Imagine just people sneezing, coughing on the bus, and their eyes are just like... Yikes!
Contact lenses can get lost behind your eye.
Ugh. No.
No, definitely a myth, because you have a protective barrier called the conjunctiva. It's to prevent things from getting dislodged back there. I've had a patient who came in and she kept thinking that the contact lens got lost or it fell out. And when she came in the 3rd or 4th time, I saw that she had 4 contact lenses on her cornea, and that's because she thought it fell out. But it was
Oh God, so she just kept piling them on? Oh.
still on there, but she just kept putting in a fresh pair every single time. All you really have to do is just
No.
make sure you blink a few times, put in some artificial tears to get that contact lens to loosen up, and eventually it should come out and you should be able to find
I
it.
could
and
never
pull it
get
out of
into
the
wearing
eye. Most of the
contact lenses.
time,
I did
notice that
try for a
patients
while, but I just
actually
hate
rub their eyes and the
touching
contact lens
my
falls
eye.
out, and they think that it's still back in the eye, and when I check, it's not there.
That's happened to me.
Yeah.
Sunglasses aren't necessary.
My optometrist told me since I have such light eyes view, need sunglasses more often than darker eyes. Hey buddy, my eyeball slipped under your seat. Can I just sneak past you and oop, let me grab that. Very Midwestern friendly.
Myth. Total myth. You do need sunglasses because we always want to protect our retina and our macula, our lens, and our cornea. So these are mine. Do you have yours?
I do. I have mine. Go ahead, put them on.
Honestly, they make you look fashionable and cool while protecting your eyes at the same time. We are constantly exposed to sunlight exposure, even on cloudy days. And when that happens, even though the progression might be slow, it can put our eyes at risk in the future for other issues or long-term consequences.
The UVA and UVB rays are so powerful. They can burn your cornea, they can burn your retina, they can lead to growths on the surface of the eye, they can even lead to eye cancers or eyelid cancers.
Here are some tips for sunglasses.
I don't want to see any pictures of it, but growths on the eye sounds horrible.
All sunglasses are not made the same. Darker does not always mean better. So
No,
you want to
you
make sure the
need
label
actual
says
UV
100%
protection.
UVA, UVB protection,
Yeah.
or it might say absorption up to 400 nanometers. You also want to make sure that
And
you
yes,
go
I love
for
my polarized
oversized or
lenses.
even one that wraps around, because you actually are constantly exposed to sunlight from top and from the sides. Things like polarized lenses isn't always equal more UV protection. Same thing like mirror lenses or tinted
No, polarized lenses, the point of them isn't because they protect your eyes better, it's so that you can see things more clearly.
lenses.
Yeah, they can definitely help. They can
Get
cut
rid
the
of the
glare,
reflections
especially
and
if you're skiing or out in the water, snowboarding, etc. But you want to get the UV protection in addition to the polarization or the tint.
Floaters are always harmless.
Floaters are actually very, very common, but they're not always harmless. There are a lot of different structures inside the eye, but this structure here, it's clear plastic, but inside the eye it's actually a jelly called the vitreous that helps us to keep the shape of the eye so it doesn't just collapse. But this jelly is made out of lots of different things, water and collagen and hyaluronic acid. As we get older,
Sound like she kind of just slurred her way through that word. Can you say that one more time?
vitreous that helps us to keep the shape of the eye so it doesn't just collapse. But this jelly is made out of lots of different things, water and collagen and hyaluronic acid.
I think she said hyaluronic, but it kind of sounded like she just said hyaluronic acid. And you're like, what was that?
As we get older, the jelly, instead of being firm like Jell-O, starts to break down. And when it breaks down into more of a liquid form, we start to see little pieces of collagen floating around inside of it. And these little pieces of collagen, when light comes in through the front of the eye, it hits those little collagen strands and creates a shadow on the retina. And that's what we see as a floater. I think it's estimated that about 80% of people have floaters. In most cases, they're benign, but sometimes they can be associated with more serious eye conditions. If you have a shower
Thanks.
of new floaters,
Highly ironic acid. Wow, yeah. It's like, I'm here. I burn things, but, not because I think it's cool. I think it's funny in its own dark, twisted way.
it may be an indicator that you're developing a retinal tear or retinal detachment, which is really an emergency. You really need to get that checked out right away. Or sometimes people have floaters because they have inflammation inside the eye, and that usually is associated with blurred vision, flashes of light, sometimes pain or redness. Definitely get it checked out if they're new, if you've never had floaters before.
2 blue-eyed parents can't have a brown-eyed kid.
That's a great one.
Have you never heard of recessive genes? What the fuck?
Genetics is a complicated topic, and even though you think that blue eyes are recessive, and if you have 2 blue-eyed parents, they're guaranteed to have a blue-eyed child, it's not always the case. There's a particular gene called OCA2. It helps determine if someone's eye colors can be brown or blue, but there are different ways the gene expresses itself. So sometimes the gene is truly dominant, but sometimes only partially dominant. So there's a lot that goes into determining a baby's.
When you've ever seen, like, when a baby's born, their eyes are one color, and then maybe over the course of the next, like, year or so, they change?
Eye color,
That happens.
but definitely it is possible, not common, but it is possible for 2 blue-eyed parents to have a brown-eyed child. And also babies, when they're born, they tend to have lighter eye color, and then usually over the first couple of years of life,
What did I
usually
just
by the age
say?
of 2, that color may darken to its ultimate final colors. The pigment migrates into the iris. Sometimes it takes a while for that pigment to fully migrate and then fully kind of settle.
Use your eyes when you first wake up to when you go to sleep. So you want to protect it by making sure you wear sunglasses, keep your eyes lubricated, and to wear your correction.
And so definitely start early, eat healthy, exercise, see your eye doctor. If you do all these things, you can hopefully maintain healthy vision for a lifetime.
Thank you, ladies. All right, so Jamie asking, Dane, what eating challenges are around Boise? You know? What is it? Oh, what? Bear Meets Food. The Morton Monster Challenge, Philly episode 3. Oh, God. Beard Meets Food. Oh, God. Well, I'm afraid to even watch that because that just sounds disgusting. We'll add that to the list near the end there. Oh, lordy. Big Judd's had like a colossal, let's see, Big Judd's bid. Yeah.
Welcome back to Freak Eating. On the way back home from Yellowstone National Park, I had the opportunity
I guess
to
we're
complete
watching
a
this
food
now.
challenge in the state of Idaho. In the town of Archer, Idaho, there's a location of Big Judd's Burgers that was made famous on Man vs. Food. Adam Richmond went to Boise, but anywhere in Idaho works for me. With no fanfare, no BS, and no stalling, it's time to find out if I can make the cut in the Gem State.
That guy smiles, but I feel like he has a deep sadness behind his eyes. This is just the whole channel, all right. Oh my god, 115,000 people subscribed to this.
Hey, you ready? Yeah. Want to set it up a little bit first?
Yeah, the steam is still coming off it.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I wanted to let it sit there for a second. So that
Oh my god, look at the giant
really
steaming. Oh god.
Yeah, it's still steaming. Got cheese, a lot of things on there.
Yes, because of course there's Pepsi. You know where we are. You ever watch Tribal People Try? It's a bunch of guys from Pakistan trying American foods. The only hang up is that it's all subtitles. No, that sounds cool actually. Like, I don't mind subtitles at all. I know some people are kind of whatever about it, but no, that's cool. I'm not going to watch this whole thing, but I'll skip through this because, why not? You could see a local challenge. They don't have one ply in the bathroom. Oh, God.
okay, perfect. You ready? Your time starts.
That's right, Jamie. When you come here, if you want to try food challenge, Big Judd's is the place to do it. You have to complete all of this, and then the exchange is that you get it for free and you get your name on the wall.
What's up, everybody? The giant meal positioned in front of me is Big Judd's 2-pound burger challenge. The most imposing part of the meal is that staggering basket of fries for sure. The burger features 2 hulking 1-pound beef patties, lettuce, tomatoes, onion, cheese, and pickles stuffed inside a massive bun. Everything, and I mean everything, including the basket of fries, must be eaten inside of 30 minutes in order to snatch victory.
That's a good question, Alex. I feel like I'm the same way. Without even thinking about it, I just leave subtitles on for like everything now, because I feel like the way the sound is mixed on some movies and TV shows, the dialogue gets really lost sometimes. And like, I like the audio experience. I don't want to lose that. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes it's so muddy that you can't necessarily understand what's being said. And you lose critical plot points and stuff. It just feels like something where it's not really a risk I want to take if I'm watching a show and getting invested in it. So yeah, I'd rather have the subtitles on. The downside is you end up like spoiling some things that someone's about to say because it has usually a full sentence on screen and they haven't said the whole thing yet. So you kind of go, oh shit, there's a, whatever. But that's about the worst of it.
And a free meal. You also win a t-shirt and you get your picture on the Wall of Fame. As Magic Mitch puts it, the prize on the line here is the gold standard of food challenges. But if you're feeling less hungry, Big Judd's also has a 1-pound burger challenge, which is exactly the same as this one, except it only has 1 beef patty. If you finish the 1-pound challenge in 30 minutes, you get...
Honestly, for the non-crazy people, this place actually has just good food in general for like a little fast food experience. It's nice. But yeah, I'm not going. I'm a big boy. I'm not looking to go out there and just eat a bunch of stuff and feel like garbage afterwards.
Get your picture in the Wall of Fame, but you don't get a t-shirt or a refund. So obviously, there's a fiscal incentive to trying the larger challenge. Both challenges come with a large drink of your choice. So there's no chance of being dehydrated.
So there's no choice.
I chose Diet Pepsi as my drink because I didn't want to do it.
All right,
I
Jamie,
didn't
I'm
want to
excited.
overdo it on calories or sugar that day. Now I'm joking, of course. The burger and fries probably accounted for nearly 10,000 calories. But who's counting?
Tearsema
A few miles of hiking
2023
isn't going to make up for all of that. As far as a meal, this was incredibly satisfying. The beef was grilled rare without any parts of it getting burned or undercooked. Early on, I had to remind myself that 30 minutes is going to go fast. It's going to run away from me if I'm not careful. So I made a solid effort to keep pace. The fries were tasty, a little soft even, but that didn't make it any easier to swallow them quickly. I focused on bunching the fries up in handfuls like Randy Santel, the way
No,
he does
Alex,
it,
for character names,
squeezing
that's a
the
big
oil
one.
out and biting workable chunks into my mouth and forcing them down with my drink. I knew if I failed this challenge, it would be because of the fries. Honestly, I was trying to do a better job at this burger challenge than the big team one I did in Memphis with Randy and Mitch. That wasn't a good day for me, but this time I was in much better form, better spirits, and a better mindset, and I was chugging away.
This guy does feel like he could be related to Levi or something.
So how long do you think this burger challenge is going to take me to complete? Do you think I might not get it at all?
Oh, Alex, you mean
You have
burnt?
to stick around and find out.
All right, let's skip ahead, see if he makes it. Boy, no, guys, 20. Oh my God, with room to spare. He's got to finish that soda too. But for real, there's no way you don't feel like shit after that.
That's it.
5 minutes to spare.
Wow.
Never seen someone even finish the 1 pound with that much time left. Was
Wow.
amazing. Okay, so with the 2 pound, it's on us. You did a great job. That was super impressive. We all loved watching you. But what is your t-shirt size?
Every time he turns his face over, he like wants to. It looks like he's gonna smile, but then it ends up being like the super pained, like clown frown, where it's one of those smiles turned upside down. It's just, what is that?
You get a free t-shirt.
Oh, can you get a 2X?
Yep. Yeah, I'll go grab that for you.
Thank you.
Well, it was a 1X when I walked in here.
And boom goes the dynamite. At 25 minutes, it was all over but the digestion.
Nice dated reference.
2 pound Big Judd's Burger Challenge was in the tank.
Y'all
and
got
the $40
cheesecake?
meal was on the house. My first food challenge in the great state of Idaho enters the win column for freak eating. I also scored the requisite free t-shirt and my picture on the Wall of Fame.
I mean, hey,
Not bad, bro.
good for him. After that, though, I'm not watching any more food challenge videos for now. There's just something that makes me go, ugh, if I watch too much of that stuff. All right. So these ladies did a lovely job teaching us about eyes. That's fun. Ooh, okay. You need an upchuck bucket? That's right. We're mixing it up again. That's right. Tonight is a little chaotic. It's chill, but it's chaotic because the content is all over the map. So now we're going to watch a Donut Media video about window tinting. And I know for detailers, it's a mixed bag. Some people feel like, oh yeah, I can tint windows. Others are kind of like, I thought about it, then I actually tried it and it sucked. So I'm curious. Pro versus DIY. How's this turn out? Anyway, let's go. Maybe I should start by actually turning the sound on. It's been known to help.
Window tint is an age-old mod that actually serves a few purposes. Sure, obviously it makes your car look cooler, but it can also block harmful UV rays and reject some heat. And they can also give you a little bit of theft protection as well. But actually tinting your windows seems like a difficult job.
Oh boy.
Oh no, I totally agree with you, 71. Noriyaro rocks. Like, I love his Dajibon video, but then again, that's pretty much the main one I know by him. But yeah, his content was solid. This one, I just picked this one because they pick an interesting subject that I want to watch. So regardless of the people making it, I mostly just want to see the subject matter and how they tackle it.
So today we're going to pit me against
Walmart
a
stick-on
professional window
garbage.
tinter to see if this is one of those things that's better left to the pros. I'm Zach.
Jamie, I like how you're just honest about the eating videos where you're like, yeah, the dude I sent you is completely disgusting. Thank you for that heads up.
In his money pit, let's get struggling. you might be thinking that anytime you're paying to have your windows tinted, you're also paying for the labor to have it done. So you might be thinking, maybe I could just buy some tint and save all that money on labor, you know, do it myself. Honestly, I really don't think this is one of the places where that is a good idea. I think this is one of those things that like really takes a skill that you have to develop, and it's kind of tedious work that if you do a bad job, you're gonna have to stare at it forever. So to drive that point home, we brought a pro, and we're gonna go head to head. He's gonna do the driver's side, I'm gonna do the passenger side of the Prius. So depending on how much longer it takes me and how much worse my side looks, will determine whether or not this is a good DIY project. Anyway, let's meet our pro. This is Brandon from Solar Connections. Brandon, thanks for coming.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, let's get some window tinting. I see you brought a big old box of tools.
Yes, sir.
Let me show you.
Look at all that sun tech.
So here's the thing about window tinting and why it might not be a good idea to do it yourself all the time. You gotta have a pretty specific set of tools that I didn't have. So I got on Amazon and bought myself a nice little toolkit. This is what I'm gonna be working with today. You look pretty well prepared. Tell me about what you got.
Yeah, I think I got the same what you have in there.
Okay, nice, nice. Well, I might be borrowing some tools from you today, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, I want to get into this. So I don't want you to give me too much information. I want to kind of
Roush,
struggle,
I get
but
ya.
I might ask you some questions along the way.
Okay, sounds good.
Brandon, how long do you think this is going to take you?
Probably 30 minutes.
All right.
The fear's already setting in. It's okay, Roush. It's weird. I either used to be able to tint or my standards weren't as high back then. Now I can't tint to save my life. Yes, sun keg.
Okay, so obviously window tint blocks some of the visible light from coming in your car and makes your windows darker. And like I mentioned, it also is capable of blocking harmful UV rays that like crack your dash and infrared rays that make your car hot when it's
My
sitting
poor
under the
van
sun
got its
on a
first
hot
dash
summer day.
crack.
But there are different types of window
Like a month
tint,
or
and
two
each of them
ago. I
comes
was
with
so
different
sad.
strengths and weaknesses in those different categories. So
That
let's
dash
talk
was
about them
perfect.
really briefly.
It's
The
got
first type of window
right on
tint
top of
is
the
what's
gauge
called
cluster
dyed
going
film.
down to the front.
It's basically just film that's dyed black, and that's the kind of window tint that you see fading to purple. It's the cheapest window tint.
Yeah, it sucks. No, like I'm one of those people who, if you're gonna do it, you don't have to get the most expensive, but at least don't totally cheap out. Like there's certain things to cheap out on. Okay, you can get away with it, but window tint in a car, it feels pretty important to me. As far as, you know, I love my cars. I want to preserve the interior. I want to be able to have that nice clarity, and I definitely don't want it looking purple. So yeah, when I got mine done on the Jag and the van, I had it actually done as ceramic film. So it does a great job repelling the heat in a way that my previous tinted windows on other cars I got tinted did not. So this doesn't look like it's going to be the case, but yeah, no. Dash looks like Anthony's 1500. My God, yes. And yeah, they should totally be using IK multis. I agree. Instead of, you know, little standard spray bottles, use a pump sprayer. It goes way further.
It's the worst at blocking UV rays. It's the worst at blocking infrared rays. It just basically makes your windows a little bit darker. Then, moving right along, we've got carbon impregnated film, which is film impregnated with little bits of carbon to make it dark. Carbon impregnated film is really good at blocking visible light and UV light, but not super good at blocking infrared rays, which is heat. It is relatively cost effective, about $150 to $250 to have a car tinted with carbon impregnated tint. It's durable, lasts a really long time, and it seems like the best bang for the buck option. Now, if you do want to spend an arm and a leg, there's another option, and that's ceramic tinting. This can cost upwards of $600, $700 to have a car done.
It cost me about $500. Jag. I realize the windows are a little smaller, but the rear window and the windshield are actually fairly large. It's just the side windows. But yeah, $500 for those. Totally worth it though. Like I would do it again. You got any graphene tint? I'm sure that's the next step, right?
You get obviously visible light blocking, you get UV blocking, and it blocks
People have made graphene and
and
everything else at this
to
point.
keep your car nice and cool no matter how hot it is outside. It's super durable, it'll always look great, but it is kind of expensive. So for that reason, we're going to be going with carbon impregnated film.
And just think about it, is it on a car that you're going to plan on keeping for a long time?
Special announcement! So many of you guys have been following along with Start the timer, Tina. All right, Brandon. Well, the first thing I need to ask you for is one of those spray bottles.
Yeah.
I don't have one. So what's in here?
Soap and water, baby shampoo and water. So
Okay, so you use this to, oh nice, a little baby shampoo.
Yep.
Why baby shampoo?
there's no additives in there. It gives us enough room to slide the film where we
Yeah,
need it,
get a little
and then
slide.
we can lock it in place and it's done.
Nice. So you clean with this and apply with this?
I do.
Nice. All right, well, now I've got one important part of the solution, so I'm gonna start using it.
Okay.
You just stay there.
Zep bottles were such a fixture in my life when I worked at Home Depot. Hilarious. Carbon paper
ultimately,
equals
this is
cheap
gonna go on the
graphene
inside of the
solution. Yeah.
window. So I think I need to lay it out, right? Then figure out how to cut it to the right size. And then, once I figure that out, cut it out and transfer it and put it on the inside.
So this is done when you're.
And we're
tuning
putting
the
it
car
on a
mobily.
Prius C,
Now,
so
at
it's
my
not
shop,
exactly a
I have
big vehicle.
plotter where I can type in the year, make, and model of the car, select the windows that I want to tint, and it will actually cut it out.
No way.
Yeah.
To like the exact size?
The exact size.
Nice, Alex. I shit you not. I saw a guy with splotchy black spray paint on his early 2000s Caravan for a tint today.
So you just clean the car, clean the windows, and then you install the film.
Well, all right, that's like cheating. That's amazing.
We're about 15 minutes in. Brandon's on his second window. Job's still over there trying on one.
Listen, if anybody thinks I'm gonna win, you just need to change sides right now. This is a rookie mistake, I think. While I was trimming, it kind of shifted on me a little, which obviously you should probably try to avoid. So I've got kind of an ugly, it doesn't look great. I mean, there's a lot of guess and check happening. That's not the straightest cut I ever cut, if we're being honest. All right, so now that I got the template cut out, well, it looks like I just got to put it on the inside. Okay, so this is 2 layers, right?
Yeah, well,
There's
there's
like
the clear piece.
Yeah.
So when you release the clear piece is where the glue's at.
Okay, and so that's when it's time to...
Yeah, and then
Seriously, 71. I know a buddy who can do it cheaper. Yes, we all know somebody who can do it cheaper. They will gladly take your money. And in return, you'll get the shittiest version of whatever it is you're saying your friend can do cheaper.
you can install it.
Okay. I can install it. That doesn't look very good. Moment of truth, now or never. I guess we're just gonna stick this thing on. Oh my God. I hope I did this the right way.
Probably not.
I'll never know because I can't get the 2 things apart. How do you separate them?
Sucks.
So the easiest way, put it on the window,
Okay.
and then you're gonna peel it from the corner.
So it kind of sticks to the back glass?
Yep.
Okay, so
And then once you have this wet, now before you peel this though,
Yeah.
did you prep that glass already?
I razor bladed it and wiped it down.
Perfect.
Okay, now our glue's
It's like
all
trying
wet.
to do PPF, but
Our window's wet.
in some ways it's more difficult because it's on a piece that moves.
Oh God, why is he laughing? Oh. I ripped a hole in it. My tool just snagged it. It's trying to squeegee down and I got it with the edge.
Oh no.
I'll just Sharpie that in. Now I've got a few like bubbles
Sharpie.
kind of coming up. Does it help with that too? Or
Let's go check it out. What do you got?
a couple creeping up from the bottom and the side.
Okay, all right.
Like these cut.
So the issue what's going on with this is you never pulled back the door panel, so the sill is catching all the water and it's catching the film and it's pulling the what we
I
call
see.
fingers.
I pushed it down.
So the panel, I don't want to mess up your window film here, so
Well,
I'll roll down the window.
Don't worry about that.
There we go. And then now you can push those fingers down and they shouldn't come back up.
Aha.
Yeah, don't be afraid to push on it either. The more water that you squeegee out, the better it is. So what it looks like that you have going on here is why they're not sitting down is when you applied the film with the felt on there, the felt got underneath the film. And so now the film has felt under it and it's not allowing it to sit to the window film. So that's why it keeps pulling back away. So you can do one of two things. You can either pull the film back and clean it. That's what I would suggest, pulling the film back and then cleaning it with your fingers and then spraying water again and then laying it back down and see where you're at that point.
Cool, we'll give that a shot.
So right now, I finish up my side and now I'm on the back window.
All right.
Oh yeah, they're pretty rough on tint in Canada, huh?
Well, I can't get these bubbles to stop coming back.
They're yours, bro.
They're Christina's.
That's true, that's true.
Well, should I get some heat on the scene, or?
Yeah, try some heat. I would suggest the heat gun. I wouldn't do the torch.
Yeah.
Torch's a little aggressive.
TE71, that's messed up. If you're a factory, they should just straight up allow it. I don't see how it's possible otherwise.
Yes? I can't get these bubbles to stop coming back. What do you do?
I would say we're definitely gonna have to use a heat gun and a paper towel to dry up those fingers. What will happen is these fingers, from going straight up and down, they'll turn zigzagged. And when they turn zigzag, that means it's shrunk. And you can push it down and it'll stay down.
Okay.
So we'll start with this one right here.
So it's pretty dry right now.
Yeah.
So. Oh, a little zigzag. I saw it.
Yeah, and then right here, this one.
Whoa. It's like this guy knows what he's doing.
That's good, Alex.
Well, okay, actually, that's good. Is this done basically then?
That's basically done.
Apart from my nice hole. Oh, now I can do this tiny thing.
Now you gotta do the little front quarter.
Sucks.
Singapore, yeah.
So what I would do is I would.
If I know nothing else about Singapore, what I do know is they are very strict about some things.
Grab this clear piece right here, make a template out of that. It's a lot easier than working with the film. When you make your template, make sure that you put the template on the face side where it's the clear, not the film.
Yeah, how do you tell?
So this is how you tell. So you can see just
how do you get that apart? How did you just do that right in front of my face? Okay.
The template goes on the side with the clear.
Okay.
All right.
Come on.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm done.
Spending an hour just trying to separate two things. God.
Thank you very much.
Well, hey, it's been a great race. Well,
yeah, I kicked your ass.
Still the
Anyway,
starting
I'm
line.
leaving.
Okay, that little tiny window was pretty tricky. I did not the best job either. This corner, the trimming's a little off, trimming's a little whack, and it looks like I scratched it with the tool. It's tinted. I don't think I like this. Now I gotta go do the rear window. Oh boy. Well, this already looks kind of whack up here. Did I do that?
Did I do that?
It's just so easy to ruin it. Okay, well, that's my best work yet. It was also the easiest yet, but hey, I'm getting better at it, so that's good news. With that, let's go to the back window. He literally did half of it. Okay. So this is the other piece, so it matches up nicely like that. How do you do that? Hey, Brandon.
Oh, he gone. Oh God, awkwardly trying to line that chin. That's miserable.
That's about as good as I can get her. Let's walk around real quick and pick apart my work. So that's less than ideal.
Should have paid attention during arts and
even
crafts,
how I did
yeah.
that, but I did it. Mostly got the bubbles worked out. God, the defroster lines are giving me a little bit of trouble. Moving right along.
As they should.
I'm not really, well, that's a little condensation. This window turned out okay. This one, ooh. Well, you can see way too much through there.
Oops.
Well, I did put a hole in this one, and this
Oh my
trimming is
God.
way off. So there's a handful of blemishes, which is to be expected, but overall, the windows that I did are tinted, so I guess that's kind of a success. But when you go look at Brandon's work, you realize how bad I did.
Yeah.
So, you know, in my opinion, this is clearly one of those things that definitely makes sense to pay the pros to do. It's tedious work, it's pretty difficult, and it does require a skill set that you have to develop. That said, if this kind of work is your type of work and something you think you might enjoy, this is something that I think anybody could learn to do. You know, after 5 or 6 cars, I'd probably be decent at it. And the fact is, it doesn't cost that much to get into it. The tools that I got on Amazon were 20 bucks, and tint is, you know, not that much. So if you're thinking about starting a little side hustle, I could see window tinting being a pretty good avenue. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something about window tinting. I had a nice fun struggle all day. So I'm gonna go take a nice long bath, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Goodbye.
Boop. All right. Well, that felt like something, didn't it? All right. We're moving on here. Keeping things exciting, bouncing around, not quite sure what you're going to get next. Well, in this case, 300 horsepower smart car. That sounds fun. Let's watch it. Oh, it's a Hayabusa swap, no wonder. Yes. Holy shit. Yes. No chug. Okay, I really hope that in the process of doing this engine swap, it means it also got a new transmission, because smart car's worst feature by far was their gearbox. Sucked. Oh, look, hex lights. Ribbon.
That got me pretty good.
Anti-lag.
Hello and welcome to a Suzuki Hayabusa swapped turbocharged smart car. This belongs to my buddy Eric, who is a fabricator for Off the Line Performance here in Iowa. I apologize for me yelling. It's very loud in here and the vibration is a lot, but I promise it's worth it. This uses the Suzuki Hayabusa transmission. So it's essentially like a sequential with a clutch. So when I shift, I go 1, 2, 3, and to go down, I go 1, 2, 3, essentially, or 3, 2, 1. So the built Suzuki Hayabusa motor, pistons and rod setup. The motor is good for 600 horsepower.
Good God. Holy shit.
Eric
asking the real questions, does it still have AC?
It's not even that enjoyable to drive.
In most cars, it's a challenge to do the AC because you don't have the room to like make it work, and it's usually in front engine rear wheel drive cars. But in this case, the engine is in the back, so I bet it didn't affect the AC at all. Yeah, 300 horsepower, my lord, in that thing. Crazy. Let's see. Oh yeah, DVK just dropped the new gig. Yes, so I did know about that a little bit in advance there, but I was really happy to hear about that. So he dropped it on Facebook or something? I haven't looked, but I'm glad that that's out there now, so that's cool.
At certain power levels, so I'm actually
I think it'll be really good for him.
turned down, making almost 300 wheel horsepower. In a smart car, the clutch is very touchy, but it's weird that I'm driving a bike clutch, not with my hand, but with my foot. So it's essentially exactly what you would be doing. I stalled. And there we go.
That's part of the fun, though. If you could stall it, then.
But it's rear-wheel drive, full Suzuki setup. That's really fascinating because you look underneath it and you see all the inner workings. Eric
look at all
did
that.
all the fabrication on this himself. The swap, the mounts, the kit.
And it's driving the rear.
And that's what's really amazing.
It's driving the rear like it's driving the rear of a
But the
bike.
weirdest thing is when you pop open the trunk and there's the motor. It's a rear-mounted setup because it's pretty much the only place that it could be. It's so funny how well it assimilates in the car. it looks like it was meant to be there. Now, the Suzuki Hayabusa swap smart cars have always been kind of mythical to me, because they've always been kind of like those funny YouTube clips of a smart car popping a wheelie and absolutely annihilating some Hellcat or GTR or something like that. And this one is called Milk Jug. It's tiny, it's unassuming, until you see the massive tire on the back. Well, massive.
Well, if I saw that and I saw that exhaust pipe, I'd know something was a little weird. And if I looked underneath the rear there, very clearly there's something going on there. But look at that wheel and tire setup.
In reference to this car.
Do a wheelie in that and you basically just... Ha ha ha, wow.
I think the funniest thing is I've never even driven a smart car, and yet this is...
Oh yeah, no kidding. That short wheelbase, you are ready to go for some spins.
I'm driving this. Oh man.
Such an awesome sound though.
Oh, it's amazing. This thing is under 2,000 pounds. It has power brakes, so basically feels like a brake booster delete. You got to be really careful with that. Oh, it's so satisfying.
So you gave it worse brakes?
We also have a digital dash display telling me all the information I need. I'm letting the car get up to temp before I really start goofing around. But once I get the hang of this, it's actually not so bad.
Listen to that.
It's actually a lot easier to drive than the sequential and Adam LZ's Barra swap I did, which was also terrifying.
Jeez.
Give me the sauce! I'm so ready. And it's so funny, this economy car, the fit and finish is not great. The whole thing is vibrating with these probably solid motor mounts. And honestly, he did these subtle little things that you can't really tell. The eBay
Honestly, the stance on that is kind of hilariously good.
fender flares really aren't that noticeable.
Considering the
because
vehicle.
The plastic is the same color as the factory plastic. So it blends in very, very well. It's funny, a lot of the times the smart cars are used as pit vehicles at race events now because they've gotten so cheap. But this was a salvage title car, and Eric was like, yeah, man, I just wanted to do it because I thought it was cool, and that was it. Oh my, you can just sense how light this thing is. Believe it or not, the steering input isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but this single spoke wheel is not doing...
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Adam LZ, that's the Stang he got from Matt, right? And then shit kind of went south on it, and then they did the engine swap in order to kind of like fix it up again. Or am I thinking of a different one?
Doing me any favors. All right, I'm feeling a little brave. I'm gonna go for it for my first time.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna roll into second. 3, 2, 1.
Look at him fighting it.
I was roasting, dude.
Jesus.
What is this? The whole thing is crab walking everywhere. It's like, I was not designed for this. Holy shit. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
no, Alex,
Well,
I
can't-
rember. He tried
I've
it,
never felt this
and he was like,
feeling
not
before.
for me.
I can't even describe what this thing's like. I'm getting some guy just saw me and just shook his head.
Jesus.
Holy shit. Milk Jug making a delivery.
Look at the motion. That thing just wants to so much.
Ah, dude, it sounds so good. I can't believe how quick I'm able to adapt to this transmission style. I feel really good. I think with the sequentials, typically when you don't clutch it, it's almost harder to get behind if you're used to an H-pattern transmission, right? You're like, wait, I don't have to clutch after first.
Like, of all the various car YouTubers I've met and stuff, I would say, like, David here really, really like him. He was actually extremely thoughtful, just really cool guy. Like, I just kind of liked his approach to stuff. I guess because he connected with Anthony, so I got to meet him during a time at SEMA, and then we all hung out for like a few parties and stuff, which was cool. But no, he ended up being really cool actually. So yeah, shout out to David Patterson. He was really, really high. And yeah, no, like between other people, I really like Tavarish Freddie. He's really cool too. But he's fascinating. Just the way some of these guys' minds work, because you're essentially taking something that operates like a side hustle and making it your entire like way of living. And it's fascinating to see what people have done with their time on YouTube. Even if they don't think of themselves as like influencers or whatever, they're kind of like, I hate that word. At the same time, they understand like, okay, this is kind of the game, but they're able to make it work. I mean, it's interesting though to see like how it shapes your life when that is what you do. Because, you know, coming from a more traditional work background, looking at that, it's kind of like, okay, that's really exciting and that seems like it'd be really fun. And then in other cases, you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I don't have like the level of insecurity that comes from not knowing if things are going to succeed or fail, and like being able to pay for it and stuff. Like there's real risk involved in stuff. Although a lot of these guys are pretty bright when it comes to handling their finances too. So yeah, there's definitely like a lot of struggle early on, and then once you get to a certain point, you're able to kind of figure out the system. One thing they have in common though, between all the ones I've met, between Adam, Tavarish, and Dude in Blue here, they're all very analytical. They understand what the metrics mean, and they pay very close attention to how stuff goes out there. And they can choose to do things that they know aren't going to be as popular from time to time, but they mix that in with stuff that they know is obviously going to work. But they understand the environment that they're operating in really well, and it's not an accident that they're as successful as they are.
First gear, but first gear I had to clutch. This is a lot easier to kind of get your brain around by clutching going, banging gears like that. I don't know if I'm 2% or whole milk, because I'm feeling like whole milk right now, and I don't feel fat.
Wow.
Napoleon.
8-second quarter mile. Oof. Jeez. Mining for diamonds in the Swiss Alps. That's right. Quick, better get ahead of the semi truck. Just don't spin out. Oh man. Holy shit. Just roll in. That is intense. That is so intense. When's the next TRC on the road videos? You mean like our travel vlogs and stuff? We did a little bit of that. Like if you'll check out the one where we went to Switzerland, that one's really cool. But if you're looking for like a broader one, unfortunately nobody's been editing those. And we were wanting to do that from coming back from our UK stuff, but it hasn't happened yet because there's been so many other like big product reveals and other things that they had to work on and get ready behind the scenes that they treated the travel stuff like it was a lower priority. But I would say the best thing that most people probably haven't watched is Anthony and I on the TRC podcast YouTube channel. If you go there, you go back a few videos, like several videos actually, you can see where Anthony and I did a walk around on Instagram Live of Waxstock. And I think it's pretty interesting. It's a good chance to kind of just see in real time how stuff played out. So if you want to go check that out, I would suggest it if you hadn't already watched it. Now, I'm going to hit play here, but I really got to pee, so I'll be right back.
One of the craziest things I have ever driven. Huge thanks to Eric to let me drive this thing. I've had an amazing time. Cannot even describe what it's like. I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I will see you guys next time, and take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Super proud to announce my first ever merch collection over at tdibmerch.com with designs I'm super proud of. So for my first ever collection, make sure to head over to tdibmerch.com and consider supporting the channel. And thanks so much for the support.
There we go, much better. I said I forgot to turn on my lights. All right, got those there. Put that bad boy back in. Oh, all right. From smart car to Lottie car. That's right. Next up. Oh yeah, we got to give a thumbs up because that's just the right thing to do. When you enjoy a video from a creator you like, you support them. That is the move. Okay, this is gonna crack me up. This just feels like, I don't know, I like Company Man, like the videos he does are always amusing, but diamond ring equals any diamond protect coated ring. You're right about that. That's a good move. If you want to watch a video about why a chain that I don't particularly care for is successful, we can do that. But there are other options. Ooh, you suck at investing. I restored this yellow junk Nintendo 64. Why do architects insist on using flat roofs? That's a cool one to me. We got that. I'm not watching that one. Oh, right. Okay, this one's actually for TE because I love this whole concept. So, yeah. We're going to watch the Dajibon. Because who wouldn't want to do that, right?
Alright, we're here today again at Ebisu Circuit, but we're not doing any rally driving or drifting or anything like that today. You may have seen in previous videos that I actually drive this van. The only reason I really bought that was because I wanted something that was cheap and could carry lots of tires and tools and stuff like that. It is actually rear-wheel drive, but vans aren't really the coolest thing to drive around in. That is, of course, unless you are driving a Dajibon.
So many colors. Hell yeah.
You might have seen these sorts of things on the internet before. Brother. Dodge vans have a bit of a cult following in Japan. It's quite weird. Let me explain. So just like in many other countries in the world, motorcycle racing is extremely popular. And of course, to carry all this stuff to the track, you need something like this. But not only do they use them to carry their stuff to the track, they've actually started racing them. We'll get to the racing part soon, but first let's have a walk through the pits and see what's here.
They got some like long wheelbase ones. I love the wheels on that purple one. Yeah, everybody's got like the Compomotive Watanabe style. Ooh. There is a part of me that really wants to make a Dajibon. It's so dumb, but so cool. Just hucking through corners and something that shouldn't be doing that. Oh god, so much understeer.
So the steering wheel on this one's a Nardi drift style Nardi, and also of course, as you can see, a lot of these have Watanabe wheels on them. And they really suit these vans for some reason. I have no idea why. Here's something funny. As I'm
Everyone
walking through
looks
the
good.
pits, there's a breeze coming up this way, and it smells like an auto parts store in America. Because a lot of these guys are running American air
Oh my
fresheners
God.
in their cars, so it's got that smell. So this is the high end of the field. You can see they've actually stripped out all the glass to try and get a good time. So we're gonna go for a ride now in this car, but not me, you. We've got a camera in the car with Mr. Aragaki. He's a former motorcycle champion, and he'll be driving.
Ah, so that's the chassis code for the Levin. Do you say Levin or Levin? Because I usually said Levin. I was referring to that body style of Corolla. Go ahead and correct me, though, if I'm wrong.
Us today. Good luck.
That looks like so much fun. Yeah, to be fair with the chassis codes, like, I know quite a fair amount of chassis codes for all kinds of various different makes and models all over the place, but when you get deep into it, yeah, I definitely don't know all of them. Like, the TE71 is one that escaped me. I had no idea that that was actually what you referred to for that. So, assuming when it's not the when it's not the Levin and it's the Truno, then it's the AE86, right? So basically the 86 is only in the case of the Irvin. Okay. Yeah, no, that would be that's the not quite so right way to pronounce that. Imagine all these vans smell like strawberry ice. Yes, I totally believe that. Yeah. I mean, as far as Toyota chassis codes go, if you're going old school, for me, RA29, the Celica. Man, the RA29 Celica is where it's at. I love those. They look so cool once you drop them, and yeah, you throw some automobiles on them. Man, listen to that crack and pop. I also really like the side exit exhaust. That's a nice touch. Oh, a little flame there. Oh, that's way cool. Okay.
おはようございます。お疲れ様です。ハウステがトラブルですか？重捨て。うわ。Also, believe it or not, these bumpers are not metal. They're actually fiberglass. Racing spec.
Huh.
I want one.
So they just want it for the aesthetic.
So not all the vans here are, as hardcore as those ones. A lot of them are just daily drivers. You'll have to forgive me though, because I literally know nothing about these vans. Apart from the fact they look really cool. I mean, as far as I can tell, they just have big V8s. And I'm seeing all these brand names I've never seen before, like Spectre.
That's not one to be proud of.
Summit Racing, I know that.
And that one, I
they're
like
out on the
that
track
one.
now.
That one looks dope. Yeah.
I think some of them are actually starting to drift.
There we go. Look at that long boy drifting. Or at least trying to, anyway. It's, they're trying.
That's what I came to see. If the Snapchats you guys send me is anything to go by, a lot of people who watch Noriero are gamers. So if you play Grand Theft Auto 5 and you've seen a van called the Yoga that looks like one of these, here's the reason why it's called the Yoga.
I mean, literally, they took the general window shapes from the Dodge Ram van, and then they grafted on like a GMC Safari, Chevy Express, you know, headlight cluster to it, and you essentially got that. Although it sure looks a lot like it.
There is a place in Tokyo called i5 Corporation. i5 is like an American car shop, and they sort of popularized this style of van. And the reason it's Yoga is because it's actually in the suburb of Yoga in Tokyo. So there you go. That's why in Grand Theft Auto 5 the Dodge van looking vehicle is called a Yoga. And this isn't just a thing that's from Tokyo as well.
It's cool
These
for a
guys
little
came
deep
all the
cut
way
like that.
from Kyoto. So these cars are popular all over the country. All right, we're gonna go for a lap. I didn't bring my helmet today. Mr. Aragaki says it's okay, but he's wearing a helmet. All right, here we go.
Yeah, column shift.
Onegaishimasu. Wow, we're really high up. All right.
You're gonna feel real nervous when he takes that first corner.
I think we're just waiting for someone to catch up so we can have a bit of a
do some
Dodge van
tandems.
battle. Look how much room there is in the back. Right, here comes somebody.
Oh man, he's hauling. Not waiting around.
Whoa, it brakes really strongly.
You're like starving oil. Oh, chicane. It's so much fun.
Out of all the places I never thought I'd be, it'd be a van battle in Japan.
Oh, T71. I know for sure somebody in Japan would think my Thunderbird was like the dopest thing. Just because it's things you can't get where you are, right? There's an appeal there. So, I totally get it. Or at least not commonly seen.
He's actually blipping the throttle on the downshift.
He's trying to rev match, you know? I'm assuming these are just the regular 318s, but maybe it's something else?
Wow.
I'm assuming it's just a 318.
Okay, so there you go. Dodge van battle at NBC Circuit. Japan, what can you say? Here's something interesting I noticed when he was driving. When he shifted from third to second, like this, because it's a column shifter, he blipped the throttle. Watch this. Apparently, in these cars between second and third, it's actually in neutral, so you can blip the throttle so it'll just go into second neatly. These things are getting better and better.
Huh.
So I know everyone's going to write in the comments if I don't say what engine it has. It's a stock 318 V8.
Yep.
Basically, the
318.
only mods on it are cooling mods. We have cooling fans, and there's a radiator here. It's, I believe, off Aristo. See there, it says JZS 147. That's like an Aristo.
Be improved by.
And apparently standard brakes too.
I love the Japanese translation.
All right, that's all for today.
Oh no, don't feel bad, T-Bird, Firebird. I mean, granted, those are very different cars in reality, but it's fine. It's a bird and it's a car, so I totally get it. It's not something you're used to seeing, then yeah. No, that thing is a boat.
Been wanting to come to this event for a long time. really glad I did. I mean, who would ever have imagined that Dodge vans would be a thing? But you know, it always seems like everything is a thing in Japan. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Home Alone vibes, picking up the fam for a trip to Paris. Yeah, right? Oh, man. All right, so that's fun. And X out of that one. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one. I've been curious. I haven't watched this one. I have no idea what to expect, but I've seen another video or two about this channel called How Money Works. This is totally out of the blue, but why don't we hit TRC in Japan when? We would all love to go to Japan. Like, all of us in the media building at least would be super stoked to do it. Question though is, how do we make that happen? Why would we make that happen? I mean, we don't have like any big distributors there necessarily, but it's always something that's, you know, caught the eye. The guys would all love to go. Yeah, no, I don't know when that would happen, but yeah, let's watch this. You suck at investing, because, man, if I need to be told, I need to be told.
Investing is the most important thing you can do to reliably build wealth during your life. The problem is, you inevitably suck at it.
You hate Wall Street, but maybe it's time to quit.
I love my job.
You hate your job.
I love my job.
You're miserable.
I love my job. I love my job, honey.
The S&P 500 has a historical average return of 10.4% over the past 100 years, even when including all of the major stock market downturns during that time. $10,000 invested in 1972 would be worth $1.7 million today.
Oh my god, Dane's deflated pool. Back here to haunt me. You may have stabbed me and thrown me away, but I'm still here, Dane. Good God.
But look around, and you will be hard-pressed to find anybody that has made themselves wealthy exclusively through diligent investing practices. Research done by Dalbar Inc., an investment research firm, found that the average equity fund investor only made an average annualized return of 4.25% over the past 20 years. To understand how big of a difference this truly is, the same investor getting those returns would only turn their initial $10,000 investment into $83,000 today over the same 50-year period.
Yeesh.
People are terrible at investing.
I mean, hey, 80 some odd thousand sounds like a lot to somebody who doesn't have 80 some odd thousand. I get it. But when you're looking at the way this stuff performs, yeah. That's true, Alex. I think I may be in the same camp as you. I suck at investing because I love useless shit.
You are terrible at investing. And even finance industry professionals are by and large terrible at investing. The only real solution is to stop trying.
I need the money.
So it's time to learn how money works to find out why you are a terrible investor who is almost guaranteed to get returns below the simple market average. This week's video was sponsored by Brilliant. Learning new ideas can be tricky, and while lectures and books are great resources of math, science to be very of either of these, being able to speak in tests. Fortunately, it's an amazing system. Click the link in the description, and the first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Investing is a hyper-logical procedure where the end goal is to turn your initial supply of money into as much money as possible. The trick to doing this is very simple. If you put that money into ventures that become worth a lot of money, produce a lot of income, or preferably both, you will be investing well. Most investments don't generate returns in a totally predictable way. Shares in a company, for example, will have some years that see the company pay out big dividends to investors, and other years the company might pay out nothing. Similarly, there will be some years where the shares in the company are trading at all-time highs, and there will be other times when they are trading down by 50%. This is simply what investors call risk, which I am sure I probably don't really.
I mean, I'm glad they're teaching this stuff, but I really hope everybody here at least understands that much.
Need to explain to any of you, because you all know what risk is, right? Well, you might know what it is, but I guarantee that you are terrible at dealing with it.
F you, Sam. Will you give me a fucking break? Excuse me.
Our monkey brains have evolved over millions of years to avoid risk, even if it means foregoing a reward. Securing yourself a
speak for yourself
tasty snack was not worth being eaten by a lion, which meant that only the more cowardly monkey survived. The problem is that you need almost the opposite mentality to be a good investor. But let's see how you do. Assume there are 3 investors: Mr. Lucky, Mr. Unfortunate, and Mr. Consistent. Each of these men are going to put $1,000 a year into their stock portfolios, but they are going to do it in slightly different ways.
That's right, Jamie. What a terrible board game.
Mr. Lucky lives up to his name, and he invests his $1,000 at the absolute bottom of the market every year, which means for the remaining days in that year, his investment is only going to go up.
Yeah, I think Wall Street bets are on their own
does
thing.
The exact opposite. He also tries to time the market, but screws it up royally. He invests at the very top of the market every single year. This means that the remaining days in the year...
It's because by the time he was finding out the news of what he should do, it was already so late in the game that he was the bag holder at the end.
His investment can only go down. Mr. Consistent doesn't bother with any of that. He just takes his $1,000 and puts it into the market on the first trading day of the year and then forgets about the market for the next 12 months. None of these investors sell any of their shares and they reinvest their dividends straight away back into their portfolios. Now, who do you think would have the biggest portfolio after 30 years of investing?
Who the knows, right?
Lock in your answers now. I'll give you a hint. It's obviously not Mr. Unlucky, although he probably doesn't do as bad as you might expect. Even with his terrible year-on-year luck, he still comes out well ahead after 3 decades earning an annualized 8.7% ROI, which meant that his $30,000 total investment would be worth $137,725. The reasonable choice...
I mean, how does that stack up to inflation?
...choice would be Mr. Lucky. After all, he picked the best day to invest every single year. He did earn impressive returns of 9.6%, which means his portfolio is now worth $165,552, or almost $30,000 more than Mr. Unfortunate. Particularly impressive when you remember he only used $30,000 of his own money to grow this portfolio. But what about Mr. Consistent? Well, he may not have had the market timing skill of Mr. Lucky, but he had something else on his side: time in the market. You see, while Mr. Lucky was waiting around for the very best day to deploy his capital, he was missing out on dividends that could have boosted his total returns. By investing money as soon as he could, Mr. Consistent ensured that he got every dividend possible, which more than made up for the total down days he would have to ride out. Mr. Consistent made annualized returns of 10.2%, giving him a portfolio value of $187,580 after 30 years. This thought experiment was first presented by Peter Lynch, one of the greatest investors of all time, and he used it to demonstrate that time in the market beats timing in the market if you are an absolute genius that can pick the bottom of the market perfectly.
Dangerous when they invest. This word, play the market. That's a dangerous term.
In the age of cryptocurrencies and hype stocks, we have normalized vertical price charts as something you should expect if you are a good investor. Sorry to ruin the fun, but good investments shouldn't moon overnight. And extreme price volatility is really only the sign of a very unhealthy investment. If it can go vertically in the direction you want, it can also go vertically in the direction you don't want. Established companies with not...
Well, let's be real. When it comes to something like Bitcoin and stuff like that, it's not really used like a currency. I mean, yeah, there are transactions occasionally here and there for stuff, but overall, it's treated much more like a speculative asset.
Not much room to grow are also great investments, even though their stock price might trade flat over the long term. If a company has grown as much as it can, returning money to shareholders is a much better decision than looking for new ways to spend that money on growth that isn't needed or isn't possible.
NTE,
Over
yes,
40%
it's a
of the
full-time
growth
job,
from the broad
essentially.
U.S. stock market in the past 100 years has come from dividends. All of this demonstrates that just getting into the market, even if it's at the worst possible time, isn't going to be that bad in the long run if you hold on to your investments. I should mention that Peter Lynch probably cherry-picked the years that he ran this experiment to give himself the outcome that proved his point, and that follow-up studies have shown the more logical result of Mr. Lucky coming out slightly ahead. But that's not...
Because, hey, you can have statistics, but, you know, presented in a particularly favorable way. Stats may not be, you know, fungible. It is what it is, but how you present them can give you the outcome you're looking for in terms of how you're trying to persuade people. So, yeah, when they say they're lies, damn lies, and then there's statistics, it's kind of what they're getting at.
Not really the point anyway. The big deal here is that long term, these investors all did roughly as well as each other, regardless of short-term gains or losses. Humans are inherently oversensitive to short-term risks, but undersensitive to long-term risks.
Trading in the dark with
Why we smoke
headphones.
and eat sugary food that we know is going to eventually kill us, but still get scared at flying in a plane that is probably perfectly safe.
Nervous?
Yes.
Monkey brain is programmed to keep you alive day by day. Monkey brain don't work very well conceptualizing risks over decades. The biggest long-term risk you have while investing is missing out on long-term gains, and a surefire way to avoid that risk is to invest as early and consistently as you can. But the risk of seeing red numbers on our brokerage account keeps you from doing it. Our monkey brains also sabotage our portfolios by encouraging us to participate in herd mentality. In the wild, there is safety in numbers.
Oh no,
If your
everybody
monkey
else is
buddies find a
dropping.
new
I should
territory
drop
full of
too.
food, you would be best off following them. If nothing else, the lion might eat one of your buddies instead of you. We can see a similar herd mentality all of the time in investment markets. My good friend Patrick Boyle recently released a video on Cathie Wood's ARK Invest where he demonstrates the core problem with the returns she generated for her investors. ARK's innovation fund is now doing roughly as well as the broad market, which by itself is perfectly acceptable. The problem is that in 2021, her fund was up 150% and making headlines throughout the investment world. If you were an investor in Cathie from day one, you would be doing okay for yourself right now. But most people didn't invest with her on day one. Most people started investing in her when she was making headlines about triple-digit
Right, at which point you're already way behind the ball.
returns. There were a number of market forces that pushed the value of this index back down, all of which Patrick explores perfectly in his video. But all that is important for now is that even though the index was still up by a respectable margin, most of Cathie's investors had suffered devastating losses.
Right now, it is ugly times ugly. And that's when the ugly get going.
I shouldn't pick on Cathie exclusively. The same kind of net loser effect is going on in lots of markets right now. If you bought Bitcoin when it was worth less than $1, you are still doing extremely well for yourself. But most people bought Bitcoin when it was worth more than it is now. So even though the asset is up millions of percent since inception, most investors are still net losers. Our monkey brains want us to follow the herd. But in the investment world, that just translates to buying assets once hype has pushed their prices to all-time highs, or selling positions after everybody else has crashed the market. I get it. It's hard not to follow the herd when investing, because finance is a really complicated subject. Making decisions yourself is probably going to do more damage than simply sticking with the pack. There are not many people who have consistently outperformed the market over an extended period of time. Of those that have, a good amount just got really lucky. A lot were insider trading, and those that genuinely beat the market with their own skill were mostly certified geniuses that transformed the investment landscape. You are watching a video on the dynamics of human psychology and investing, so you are probably smarter than most, but you are not smarter than
Good job, guys. You're smarter than most.
someone like Jim Simons and his team of PhD analysts. The good news is that you don't need to be. The secret to good investing was right there in the thumbnail. Stop trying. That doesn't mean stop investing, but it does mean stop trying so hard. You can fit everything you need to know about personal finance onto a post-it note. But that makes it hard to sell courses, investment products, self-help books, and NFT projects to people who think they can outsmart the market. A 2020 report found that 90% of actively managed funds failed to outperform the market over a 15-year period. So if the smartest investors with Ivy League degrees fail to do so, why do you think that buying a day trading course will help you? I'm sorry, you can't.
Oh no, those people are just making money off you straight up.
I cannot f***ing believe this shit.
Invest consistently, invest broadly, and invest for the long term, and you are going to do better than almost everybody. Invest broadly, and invest for the
Log term. I wanted to make sure my eyes weren't tricking me. Log term, yes. You know, famously.
long term, and you are going to do better than almost everybody else that spends their lives chasing the overhyped flavor of the month
Yeah, you
investment
just get yourself
that
some
promises
Vanguard or
its
something.
investors rich.
By the way, I don't know why I have to say this, but I feel like I should. Yeah, no, after years of being someone who edits videos, I feel like I can definitely spot some weirdness, just like an aberration immediately out of my periphery. But yeah, I mean, most of the time I'm not even editing the videos we do during my day job anymore. I'm reviewing other people's videos. So my eyes are like tuned for that stuff. But yeah, that one cracked me up. For the long term. Yeah, Vanguard Total Stock Market. I'm not a financial advisor by any means, so don't take anything I say with anything other than a grain of salt. But at the same time, I know what works for me. And yeah, no, this is pretty much it. Trying does seem to backfire more often than it works. Because if you're trying and you're using resources like other people are probably using resources, you're probably getting the same information and you're probably thinking or acting the same way. Sometimes it's like double, quadruple reverse psychology. Like, oh, I bet other people are doing this, so I'm not going to do that. Well, you would at least I don't know, a few thousand other people thought that exact same thought, and you're gonna approach it the same way. So just do what feels right, right? Yeah, so Dane's Deflated Pool by Vanguard, total stock market fund. I mean, yeah, if you just get yourself like a nice, chill, spread out thing and it'll just build over time, it's not a bad way to go. You know? But once again, do your own research. It's, you know, each and every person can kind of take some time to figure out what works best for them. But I just thought it would be an interesting video to watch. So yeah, I mean, this one basically hits the nail on the head. Stop trying so hard if you're back trying.
But only ends up putting them behind. Now, if you want to learn about a company that has quite literally mastered the long game, go and watch my video on Nintendo's incredibly weird 130-year history on my new channel, How History Works. Thanks again to Brilliant for making it possible for everybody to keep on learning how money works.
Well, that's fantastic. A really smart decision.
And it's
Put
gone.
that check in a money market mutual fund. Then we'll reinvest the earnings into foreign currency accounts with compounding interest, and it's gone.
That scene will never not be funny.
What? Hey!
So, I thought we'd move on, since we're keeping this game going tonight, just like a real randomizer, keep it going. 6 couples versus 1 secret pair of siblings. So, odd one out. This is definitely going to be probably an awkward one or a strange one, but I'm looking forward to seeing how these people act. So, you know, the game will probably explain itself, but if you're not familiar, odd one out, the way it's usually played on this channel, there's a group of people. They're in this big light up box. Jamie loves it. He thinks they should detail in there, so that's cool. But basically, sorry, I'm like digesting for whatever reason. Now is the time for that lozenge. So basically, a bunch of people standing in a box. Sometimes they're pairs, sometimes it's individuals, but basically, there's like a mole in their midst. There's usually one odd person out, and if the other people can suss out who that is, then they get to win the money that's on the table. And if the person doesn't get sussed out and the people decide, oh yeah, I think we got rid of him, and then the person's still in there, that person who was the mole gets the money. So it's kind of a fun one to see who's lying, who's playing an act, and how it all plays out. Audio would be good.
Cool, right? Answer in the comments below and suggest a prompt on our Kickstarter.
Another season of Odd One Out. Haven't we tried everything? Except these? How about... Nah. It'll be so hard to bring them to set. Is there anything left? Wait. What's this? We brought together 7 couples.
We're a couple.
We're a couple.
We're a couple.
We're a couple.
We're a couple. We are a couple.
We're a couple. One of them is a pair of siblings. If the group discovers who the liars are, they will split a cash prize. If the liars survive, they win the entire prize.
There,
Who
basically
is
what
the
I said.
odd one out?
Let's start off with important dates. Like, do you guys remember when you first got together? Anniversary, basically.
Say it on 3. 1, 2,
I was
3.
kind of eager there right off the bat.
April 7th.
April 28th. December 10th.
February 1st.
December 3rd.
Okay, are they like going out of their way to try and make sure that they like harmonize each other? Like they all say everything at exactly the same time?
What do you think is the hottest thing about your partner? That's a weird thing to say about your sibling.
He just wants to make it weird right off the bat. Yes, let's go.
To be honest, I think she got a dope personality.
I wouldn't want to say my sister's hot either, so I get it. That's cool too, bro.
Honestly, I love
Right off
his
the bat.
creativity. He has one of the smartest minds I've ever had.
Curves. Like her curves.
The shining couple are sus already. Yeah, Jamie, I felt that vibe immediately. Of course, you would go to the ghostly side there, but yeah, I got a real like twins in the hall vibe there.
Your teeth.
I know y'all can't see it, but she got a big something. What's your guys' favorite sex
What? 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 You can't say? What is it?
position? She went all in.
Yeah, missionary. Like, that one sounds...
For us, we don't.
Oh God,
use
that was a
strap
pain
or
laugh.
anything, So it's more like what we're doing.
I say me to him, definitely cowgirl, but I think he prefers that, so he don't gotta do the work.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I put in most of the work. But you know, usually when she's on her back and the eyes, you know, you have that emotional connection while you putting in that work.
You're gonna sell to me, bro. You got my vote.
It just the mere thought of sitting there and trying to say that about your sibling with a straight face. Good luck.
My favorite is eye contact. When you pull, it's intense, you know, doggy style, but like.
Anything from the back is the best, I feel like.
Well, obviously, we can say a bunch of nice things about our partner, but what's the one thing that annoys you the most?
He doesn't put anything back where he puts it from.
I
hate it.
I also do all the
freaking
dishes.
hate it.
She hates that I don't do it after every meal.
I don't like when it's like the morning and then you try to kiss me.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You need. There's something very chaste about that. Yeah, this video is trending in Alabama. Roll Tide.
That morning brush.
Oof. Yeah, The Shining.
If you don't kiss your significant other in the morning, siblings.
Red flag.
Not
Red
buying
flag.
that.
Oh boy.
There's a tie, and the tie is between Mia and Rose, and Dana and Peter. Each of
I definitely got a brother-sister vibe from those. Just something about the two of them. They look very similar too, but I realize sometimes they use that as like a trick. People seek out people who kind of remind them of themselves in a vain kind of way. And it's a bunch of pseudoscience too, but still.
you have 20 seconds to state your case.
Okay, first of all, she got my name tatted right here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When I saw that tattoo, I was like, that could be anything. That could be Sharpie, that could be marker. I don't know.
But also, like, if you have two siblings who grew up super close to each other, it's not the weirdest thing in the world to hear that maybe one got a tattoo of the other's name and vice versa.
I was gonna say, we last night.
Since you guys mentioned that,
Okay.
we also this morning and last night. We're really into the same clothes, as you can.
Okay, these guys are throwing me. It's, yeah, no, I feel like she's offering that just because she feels like she has to say something like that, but it's not feeling authentic.
See, you want to say anything?
I like doggies. I didn't get to say that earlier.
Throwing me, man.
Good luck.
All right, I have a
Oof.
question. When did you guys know you guys were ready to do it? Like, how far into your relationship?
I think
the first day?
I think gay time is different from straight time. You know what I mean? Like we met and we like, and then I was like, "What's your name again?" That's kind of.
So what made you like want to pursue him then?
we made angry.
There you go, Alex. Real siblings don't have tats. They have scars from beating the shit out of each other. I mean, there's definitely an element to that too, depending on which way you look.
Grinder. Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad you know.
Dude, it's pretty mainstream. A lot of people are familiar
Yeah, I mean,
with it, even if they're
LA's
not
kind
on
of
it.
full of fake people. So when you meet someone with a real connection, it's very nice and calming, and yeah, that's authenticity. That's like just sexy. I don't know.
I want to know how
over here.
you guys met.
Yeah. Okay, we met in high school, and we met through like my best friend, because he was the only person that could drive at school at the time. Eventually fell for him, and then he fell for me after, and then he asked me out, and then we on the first day he asked me out that night.
They're either brother and
for you.
sister or a terrible couple.
Okay, cool. Now I got a question. We all live together, right? That's the thing. So if you're laying in your bed looking at the ceiling, what side of the bed are you laying on? If you sleep on the right side.
That's actually okay. I see where he's going. That's actually a pretty good question because people are going to think they could throw out a bullshit answer, but it's something. The white shirt dudes could be a facade. Yeah, right? I mean, that's how this game works. They get in your head and they're like, I know what people would think if we put them in this scenario. So let's just take whatever people are assuming and just flip it a little. But then they also know you might think double negative. You go, I'm smarter than that. They might roll it back and it's not the case. Who knows?
Side, raise your hand on 3. Yeah? 1, 2, 3.
It's kind of weird because I had a baby when I was 15 years old. So she sleeps in the bed with us.
Can I ask how you two met?
Yes, we met in high school. I was a sophomore, he was a senior. He was my
TA?
TA.
Oh buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
No, we're like really good friends at first, like best friends, and then
We didn't have sex until like we were friends for like a couple months before we had sex.
yeah.
How do you feel about each other's parents? What are their names?
Her mom's name's Carolina and her dad's name's Joseph.
His mom's is Carmen, and then dad's Scott.
His mom is, her name is Hung Tui, and then his dad's name is Trong.
Okay. And what about her?
Her dad's name's Toy. Or your mom's name. She cooks good though.
Okay, that actually made me feel more like they were real at that point, because that's kind of a real response.
Her mom is.
Yeah, right, Alex? Like, they could totally be throwing you that way, and you wouldn't know until it's too late. They might use the double negative, like, oh, sure, they're a gay couple, but maybe they're a gay couple with somebody else, and they're actually using siblings in this case who just happened to turn out that way, and that was the result. I mean, that's diabolical, but that's the kind of games that Jubilee and Cut play.
Sheila and her dad is Henry.
Melvina Thomas.
And time's out.
I have a few gay friends, and they're always like, I can't date someone who's prettier than me. And they were both like identically equal, and they looked very attractive.
Peter forgot Dana's dad's name.
Ew, you guys think we
Yeah.
Kind of.
See, those two were the ones that I felt really gave off the brother-sister vibe. But at the same time, that last one, for whatever reason, it humanized them in a way that made me think, oh, maybe they are actually a couple. Legit, just couldn't remember. But also, if they came up with, like, an alibi before going in here, like, okay, if anybody asks, these are the, things you think about, right? Because you're playing a game. So you understand you're going to have to say some bullshit if you want to be able to hang in here. So, I don't know. I was a little more on the fence with them by the end, whereas when I started, I was totally like, oh, they're it.
Peter seemed so nonchalant, like, oh, I don't really care. Just because they were so honest with each other and it was so like chaotic a little bit, their answers, that I knew that they were probably weren't them.
You've clearly never seen a chaotic couple.
Raise your hand if you think that the mole is still in the box and you would like to continue the game. Starting now, for every time all of you vote out someone that is not the mole, the total prize money will be reduced.
Ooh, I just want to ask between you couples.
Okay.
One of you guys could explain, or both of you guys could explain your favorite vacation experience that you had together.
Our honeymoon was in Cabo.
And the whole sex
Bold of you to assume we've been on vacations in everybody's case.
question, we were waiting. Like we were waiting for it, so it was like nice just like be able to have sex on our honeymoon. So that was cool,
Oh, you guys didn't have sex till the first time until you?
I'm Christian, and when we started dating, I told her, I was like, hey, like it's like really important that we get married, that like we have the same beliefs.
That sounds like a romantic story that never happens in, like, especially in LA. I'm like,
Virgin in LA.
I don't know.
Using waiting till marriage to avoid sex questions is pretty strategic. The reason why, like,
Not wrong. I mean, that is a legit strategy. I can see them gaming it a little bit, but who knows if that's actually true or not, or if they're just, once again, playing into what they think people are gonna think.
voted to stay in because I am a little sus of you guys. Okay. You guys.
Well, yeah, they're the
kinda,
shining
like,
couple.
You guys seem like you guys could be like maybe half siblings, like maybe even step siblings. Like I don't know. I'm just sus of you guys. How did you guys meet?
Well, I was a teen mom. I had my daughter when I was 15. Both recovering drug addicts, and I was just in a really dark place. And got sent to Sustain in Anaheim. That's the rehab that we met in.
We've been living
together
since we met.
since. Yeah.
Since
so
we met.
And
Very lesbian of us, but
she's raising my daughter with me.
Can I just add, I personally think we already got rid of the mole
I kind of do too.
because they don't kiss in the morning. that bothered me. I was like,
does everyone think they're with the one?
Oh yeah.
Yes, for sure, 100%.
You imagine if somebody's relationship shattered right then and there when they asked that question and somebody didn't react fast enough? Shit.
Without a doubt, I put up with enough.
Do you guys have
Oh,
kids?
boy.
Are you married?
Nah,
I've
no
been
kidding.
pregnant twice, 2 abortions.
They
Yes,
just
ma'am.
got deep out of nowhere.
I said I welcome it. Give it to
She
me.
said what she said.
Mhm.
I'm either, if the mole is still here, I think it's either you guys or you guys.
Yeah.
I think you can maybe be siblings, but I don't.
That's why you guys kind of look alike.
Honestly,
You guys kinda
I'll
look
give you a
alike.
reason why not. Her
I'm
name is
fine.
Alma. My name's Josh.
My parents
They're-
are Alma. Why would they be
Yeah.
shocked? Like,
God, they're all kind of awkward. It's throwing me even more. Oh my god, that dude looks like a knockoff from the main dude in Twilight. Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Oh dear. Yeah.
She said, why would parents name one kid Alma and then the other kid Josh? And it sounded really scripted to me.
You were waiting to say that.
I mean, they're all very strategic here. I don't know. You guys got your guesses? What do you think? Where are we sitting right now? I mean, you can use a made-up like nickname you created for any of the groups and stuff here, but just wondering like where people are at before we get too far into this.
Raise your hand if you think that the mole is still in the box and you would like to continue the game.
I think they
By
are.
the third round, I assumed Peter and Dana were the moles. So when they got eliminated, I was like, okay,
I was
done.
like, easy money. We
I was
won.
like-
The moles are out.
So the game ends now. If the lights turn green, then you eliminated the mole out and you win. If the lights turn red, then the mole is still in the box.
I mean, if those two, the guys seemed so confident about the moles being out, then I'm pretty sure it's not them. Unless they were just told to say that for the camera or something, but why would they say that otherwise?
Box and you lose.
Why would they sacrifice their own money that way?
I knew it.
Okay.
Can the mole please step forward in 3, 2,
Is it the guys?
One.
Oh my god, what if it is? It is the guys! Oh!
What? I feel betrayed by Michael and Zach.
I feel like we both had bottom energy, and that should have gave it away.
Oh, we have Mario and Luigi tattoos. Come on. Oh.
It's me.
You wanted me to f him? You wanted me to f him?
Wait, are you guys full? Full siblings?
We're twins.
The voices definitely see some. Wow, yeah, look at all their minds getting blown right now.
I had my nose done.
How did we not realize that
Their
they literally
confidence.
look like each other?
The grand anniversary, they said the wrong date.
December 3rd.
You should have said something.
I've never heard. Yeah, okay, what was that again? I've never heard. Okay, yeah.
You know,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was waiting to get eliminated first. Michael and I like talk the same. We're both annoying.
Thank God they didn't make us kiss. Because I would've for the money.
I do not think that I would be attracted to anyone that looked
So they did. They faked him out. They said it for the camera. I was like, oh, I thought we eliminated them all. Well, they were so confident because they were the moles. Okay. Wow.
like me. It's like looking at my brother and I'm like, oh yeah, he's hot.
We've been told before that we look alike, and that makes me very uncomfortable. I think I
Yeah.
am attracted to somebody that looks like me because I like the way I look.
Oh,
Because we've
God.
been dating so long, we kind of just morph into each other.
He's got a beautiful face, but I could never.
Can't.
Never. If you could smell Michael for more than 15.
Zach, let's kiss finally.
Hey, okay.
Good job, guys. Oh, my God. Who is not drunk? Okay. Watching that. Oh, boy. I feel like, yeah, why not? Let's do this. We're on a roll now. Now we're having fun. Let's just hang out with the Jubilee people for a little bit here.
Hey, okay, we in the club.
Oh, that could have gone so poorly.
We brought together 7 drunk people.
I am drunk.
I am drunk. I'm drunk.
I am very drunk right now.
I'm drunk. I'm drunk.
I am very drunk.
One of them is sober. If the group discovers who the liar is,
Okay, so they're confirming that one of them is sober. Like, wouldn't it be like a real just, mess with your head kind of deal if they're like, actually, one of them is not drunk because, in fact, they are high. And then you're just like, oh, well, shit.
they will split a cash prize. If the liar survives, they win the entire prize.
But they straight up said the
Who
person who's not
is the
drunk
odd
is
one
sober.
out?
So that kind of eliminates that. Okay, see, that's nice. They're looking out also because if you didn't put that there, there would be questions.
Cheers to
Cheers.
New friends, new experience.
Nita, who's not a detailer, first one to not use O&R is out. Hey, that sounds fun. Should totally create a... Dude, we should create like an actual, not a parody, but just like a copycat version of this that's different enough, but made for detailers, and just do it with hex lights around them, but it's a huge cube of hex lights. It'd be so dumb.
And Happy Dad. We gotta cheers to Happy Dad.
And
Happy
happy
Dad?
who?
Yes, Happy Dad.
Champagne
Oh,
coffee
dear.
over here.
Put Dane in the room for that one. Yeah, well, see, the problem is
Bryce, you and
people
I are
know
gonna be
me.
boys.
Louis.
I know your
Bryce.
name.
I know your name, Louis.
Bryce. We're boys till the end.
I'm with you.
Till the end.
I believe you.
Questions. What did everybody drink?
No.
Like
Let's just smell each other's breaths. Let's just smell each other's breaths.
Oh, wow. He's just going straight for the breathalyzer test like that. I was moderately drunk in Boise. That was fun. Yeah, no, it's not bad here, really. I like that immediate just jumping right into it, though. 6 of these detailers shop at Walmart. Only one of them doesn't. TRC M8 after dark activities. See, this is the kind of fun stuff we could be doing. I don't know. I kind of love that idea. If we did like a janky, low-budget version.
I don't want to smell anybody.
I'm down to smell.
It's like, why are you trying to smell me? This is weird. Like, I don't know what you do in your free time. I don't go smell people. Like, what?
Can I just smell your breath?
Okay.
Go ahead. That actually smells pretty good.
Like,
Well, like alcohol. Can I smell yours?
Okay. Why is he
May
trying
I?
to
Yeah,
smell
go for it. Go
everybody?
ahead.
That
Go
sucks.
ahead.
I don't
God,
think
that's
I
hard.
Can
Can
smell
I smell?
anything. What if he's like, I can't
Again?
smell anything? Why are you directing us?
Yeah, see, that's always the fun thing. Like, well, is her name Glostic? What the hell is it? Influencer names. I'm gonna be drunk on that Big Job burger. Yes, you can fake drunk. Absolutely. So immediately what happens in this game, the odd one out thing happens a lot, is somebody will come out who basically just dominates the scene. Like, they try and get out there and they try and get in everybody's faces and ask them challenging questions because they're so afraid of having something directed at themselves that they're just projecting it out, and a lot of people get immediately suspicious of someone who acts that way. And yet it seems like every time there's one of these odd one out videos, there's somebody who goes in like full, just blasting away, hitting everybody with the questions and the organization. And yeah, it makes them suspicious. It's immediately sus behavior. So yeah, it's always fun. I don't know why people choose that strategy. Do they not watch these other ones? Like, people don't immediately think like, oh, this guy knows his shit. No, instead they think, this guy seems a little overcompensating.
I'm not directing. I just want
Wow.
to smell. I'm the king of smells. I'm kind of a
Intoxication. Another bun in the
kind of a
plum
handle.
pudding.
Sober one leads the way, right?
Right.
Question. What did everyone drink before this? Go. We'll go on the line.
I went to brunch, I had 2.5 mimosas, and then I had 4 shots, and then I drank some of my handle of tequila.
Okay.
4?
Oh, damn.
Girl, I'm Irish. I had a
Girl, I'm Irish.
Bottle of Ciroc. I'm bougie. It was a new special edition pomegranate.
Oh my God.
And I got lit. I'm just
How much
saying.
did you have?
Okay.
How much? Half a bottle.
I went to Trader Joe's right before this.
Oh, you do
I
own a
bought-
Trader Joe's?
I bought
there.
their
Dude, he looks like he works at Trader Joe's.
tequila, and I drank half the bottle as well.
Well, I'm a representative of Happy Dad. You know the hard seltzer.
I don't know what that is.
No.
What
No.
is Happy
Do you guys
Dad?
do that?
That's the best self.
Wow, this guy just comes in and immediately starts selling booze to everybody. He's just like, yo, I'm the drug dealer here.
Give us an ad right now.
What did you drink? What did you drink?
I literally had just Happy Dad. That's my seltzer. That's my brand.
He's drinking his brand. He's
Oh my God.
Okay, okay.
Plug in.
Trying to promote.
He kept
Plugging.
on like promoting his brand, his alcohol brand or drinking brand.
Because it's literally the best seltzer on earth.
Just a question mark. Yeah, no, this guy is immediately sus as fuck.
It's better than White Claw, better than anything else.
My cousin got me this half a bottle of tequila.
Wait, where are you from? Where's
I'm
the accent?
from London.
London.
Yes.
You sound like y'all from London.
I would gladly swap accents with you. You guys have got cool accents.
Cool accents. They have drunk people accents.
He could be low-key like the British Hitler, you know what I mean?
Okay, dude, you are trying way too hard now. Why do I feel like you're the sober one and you're just really trying to lay it on things like, baby, God, they're
He had,
aggressive.
I can see it in your cheeks. You definitely had.
You can see it, right?
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah, look at their nose, look at their cheeks. Not everybody displays it quite as much, but you can usually tell like when somebody's had a decent amount.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoever is the
Especially if it's a common occurrence.
Okay,
it's either one of
you
these
wouldn't
things.
say that.
Oh, wait.
No, Dad. Smell my breath.
Well, that
Smell my
only
breath.
He's so obsessed with smells, man.
Everybody step back. I don't want anyone that don't like me.
Yeah.
Is that good? Okay.
This is my vote.
Like, I can't trust her, you know. Oh yeah, dude, the British guy was for sure the mole. Just because I can't trust non-Americans.
Dude. You're making it bad for my friends who aren't who are from somewhere besides the U.S. Come on.
Not because he's not American, but because he's not American.
Just straight saying it. But seriously, why is that one chick with the hat called Glow Stick? For real.
Really?
Yeah, bye.
Really? Damn.
Sorry.
No.
Damn. Can I at least prove that I was buzzing?
Wait, you
only
brought
one who
up
brought a
breathalyzer, let's
breathalyzer.
blow it.
Okay.
Can I show
You
to
can
the...
show them later.
Oh, okay. Bro, deadass, I was buzzing. Like,
He was
call me,
buzzing.
fucking call me
I'm
liar,
sorry,
because
I
I
don't
was
know
buzzing.
how to read those.
Even if you weren't, you're kind of a dick.
You know, we're at Walmart, Bevmo. We're probably the best brand out there. I know you would probably be like, okay, this is the best seltzer on earth.
Great representative. That's what you want representing your booze brand. You're like, oh shit, this stuff does work. Look what it did to him.
Do you guys know the seashells by the sea?
Right
Sally
now.
sells seashells.
Sally sells seashells.
Yeah.
Seashells.
Right.
Okay,
Sally
okay,
sells
okay.
seashells.
You go first.
Sorry.
What?
Just
Sally
say Sally
sells
sells
seashells.
seashells.
Sally sells. Wait, but not even sober
Oh,
people
boy.
can do that. Hey, let's do something way more
Glow
cool.
stick sounds like a
We're gonna
TikTok
spin the
detail,
bottle
yeah.
If you don't make out with the
Yeah, no, Jamie, that guy's still plugging his hard seltzer brand during his like I'm out interview is the least surprising thing ever.
Person, you're sober. So my idea is that like if you can kiss someone when you're drunk, you're definitely drunk. Because if there's any hesitation, you can pick up on it. All right, you.
I have to spin it?
Yeah, you have to
Okay.
spin it. Go, go,
Okay,
go.
I'm gonna spin it now.
Spin the sherbet. Oh,
God.
my.
Okay.
Oh, yeah! Make out with each other!
Look at
Oh boy.
That's a right, Judy. Are you f***ing serious? Let's go. Let's go.
You guys decide.
Oh, just a
Chaos.
little peg.
I'm
Just a-
here. Let's do it. Let's do it to prove that we're drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
How about that?
Okay, ready?
He's just
we
like,
go.
all right.
Oh no, I was going for the cheek. He went straight for my lips.
Okay, we can do cheek. We can do cheek.
Oh.
So you want to kiss on the cheek, and let's get it
I
over
want
with,
to.
and let's move on. Okay.
I know, I know.
Oh boy.
Wow, they kissed on the cheek.
This buzz is sponsored by On Brew.
I know, it's gonna be
It's fine with me.
Also,
Okay.
yo,
I think I
Metaghost, nice to
kissed
see you here.
a
Thanks
boy.
for popping in.
Which, you know, it's fine.
And yes, TE71, that is correct. Dylan Von Kleist is joining Auto Wash. It's actually a pretty big deal. They're going to be definitely doing some expansion and stuff, but from what I understand, and I've met the people at Auto Wash, they're super nice, like really cool people. And yeah, they know their shit. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that. But the nice part is, for Dylan, he gets to stay in Colorado, all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
We kissed, and then it proved that we were good. Okay, you go to
Guys, 1 second.
Wait, it's over?
No, we don't hear anything. So many people can't talk at once. 1 or 2 people at a time. Otherwise, we can't use any of this footage.
Guys, we have to be.
I mean, as a producer, getting all these people drunk, you kind of knew that this was going to happen. Because you go to any bar, it's noisy, there's a din. And it's because everybody's just trying to talk at each other, not with each other. It's usually more of a competition of just like raising voices of like, ah, you know, and everybody's having a good time. But, you know, as the booze flows, people become less and less aware of their surroundings.
Irresponsible.
We have to go quick.
What is
But I still feel like there's someone in here faking it. So, okay, dude plugging his Happy Dad hard seltzer. Yeah, okay, maybe he was actually boozing because he had the breathalyzer ready to go, like, oh, I wanted to show everybody. Okay, I kind of believe that. Also, he was kind of a dick. But now we have a collection of people. One of them is faking the funk here. Question is who?
What's your go-to dance move? Everyone,
I
5
can't
seconds.
dance.
Wait, we have
Go
yeah,
to
5
drunk
seconds.
We have 2 minutes. Dance
Okay.
go, go.
Go, dance
Dance
move.
moves in a line. You
All
start.
right, your go-to
Me
drunk
start?
dance
Yeah.
move.
You want to see the real?
Yeah.
I
Let's
give me a beat.
go,
Give me a beat. Give me a beat. Hey, okay. We in the club.
Ow, ow, ow.
She was really drunk. How would she be able to do that?
Okay.
What was the girl who did the
Does a
split?
detailing form bitching about CG? Kind of does. The guy with the hat is my choice. Oh man.
Kelly.
What?
Kelly.
Ken?
Kelly.
Kenny?
Kelly.
Kelly? Kelly. Gosh, when she did the splits, I was like, yeah, no sober person would do the splits right here, right now.
But I want to see you try.
The way she kind of like threw away the last couple words as she said them is kind of a trademark actual drunk person thing to do. So I'm inclined to think that Nizzy here is in fact inebriated. So there's that. Hat guy, yeah, I mean, maybe kind of a red herring could be it. I feel like the British guy, he didn't come across as super drunk, but he did look a little red in the face, so yeah, maybe. Blah, 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 graphene! Yeah, I see that too. For some reason, it's totally off base. I believe the girl in the turquoise here, teal or whatever, greenish, like mint green dress, she's probably actually drunk, because that's painful, wild what she did. But over here, I still feel like Glowstick. I'm not as thick as you drunk I am. Glowstick feels like she's laying it on a little too thick. She's like trying to, you know, call out anybody who doesn't seem adequately drunk enough, which in itself is kind of, you know, sober person activity, like, But I don't know, weirdly, they haven't drawn much attention to the white and, I guess I'll call it white and purple girl over here on the far side on the right. I feel like she might actually be. Yeah, no. Alex, you're probably not wrong.
7, 8.
But if I was drunk, I wouldn't be able to.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's all I got.
Claps.
That ruined the kid.
That was it?
That was it. That was it. I can't dance.
Okay.
Dance.
I can only like crunk battle.
Okay.
Who wants to crunk with me?
I don't know what that means.
Crunk, you know.
All right, I can
boom.
Remember, one of these people left in the cube right now is still almost definitely totally sober and trying to come across as drunk.
I hope my ass isn't
And Maddie Matheson to be in the scene.
Oh, man, if you guys could just cut out the crunking, that would just make my day.
Do we have music?
6, 7, 8. Boom, 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 boom.
I'm just gonna clap with you guys.
Boom, boom. Oh, he's sober. He's clapping.
He's sober. Yeah,
Wait.
I mean, his timing's way off, but it could be like faking just not having the response time. I don't know. I'm still a little suspicious of what is his name, Remel, our British friend here. He seems a little bit too put together. But then again, how much of that is him being British and how much of that is him just, I don't know. Just there's something there, like he might be the sober one. What do you guys think?
We need to see something.
I mean, I feel like the hat guy could be a total red herring. He might be somebody, like, if they didn't specify that the person who is not drunk is absolutely sober, as they very clearly stated, the person who's not drunk is sober. If not for that, then I would have been like, oh, well, the yellow hat guy, maybe he's high. Like, that would count. He's not technically drunk, he's high. It's different.
To be honest, he should have danced.
Can you tell me his name, the British guy?
Hemel. You can just say the British guy.
Okay, I think it's the British guy. He seems the most coherent. The rest of us were spilling stuff.
Okay, see, the thing about her is she is like, her mouth is moving so much to say these words. She's like overly trying to enunciate everything as she says, which actually is more like trademark drunk person behavior, trying to like be clear about what you're saying. But it's definitely a little bit, I don't know how much of this is like an act and how much of this is actually real. I'm kind of torn here, but I don't know. I'm trying to see what do you guys think. So I'm surprised Matt has a detailing show like this yet. Just out. Who wants shots? First one to say no is out. Too busy selling his whole lineup to Hawaii detail. Oh my God. The real drunk is outside and forgot to come in because they understood the assignment too well. Damn it, Alex, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I don't know how to dance. Like, all I know how to do is dance in Morse code. I just back it up on the tune, and I just.
Morse code?
World War II?
Ba, ba. Morse code. Ba, ba. That means.
Why Morse
that
code?
means B, T, F. That's what means. That's how you do it in Morse code, baby.
Morse code, good lord. Yeah, glow stick is coming across a little too
Writing
strong.
English is kind of hard right now. I'm a psychology major, and I thought that she was playing up that she was drunk and being silly.
Yeah.
So
To be fair, those are the two I was most suspicious of at this point. I took away my suspicions of white and purple girl on the right there after I saw how she was trying to speak to the camera when they were interviewing her.
we have a tie.
Oh,
and
God.
the tie is between Glowstick and Hamel.
Oh boy. He's just like, oh, me?
Each person has 20 seconds to state their case, starting with Glowstick.
Okay, honestly, I don't know who voted me, but
That was an
it's
evil.
honestly not me, because if I was sober, could I do this? Yeah.
Exactly, that's the point.
Who do you think it is? Who's the most?
But she's like trying to play. Yeah, this is okay. Now she's really starting to make it feel like, yeah, I bet you're the one. Because she pulled the old reverse psychology. Could I do this? Very simple thing that I think a drunk person would do, and everybody looks and goes, haha, yes. It just feels a little too calculated. Just something's off.
Mole? Yeah. I think we already voted.
Right, yeah, laying on the sus.
Hamel, you have 20 seconds now.
Okay, so I had about a couple of shots of tequila beforehand. I had some tequila here. I'm drunk, and I just feel like someone.
Also, random thought. How long that dude's shirt is, his sweater. It's like a tunic. It just keeps going.
And he's trying to pass the buck to me.
The other 4 people, can you step forward and whisper and discuss who you would like to eliminate together?
Oh, semicircle. Okay.
I think she's taking it. I think she's taking it too.
Let's make some freaking money, okay?
Yeah,
You
let's make
guys
some
all,
money.
We're all on the same page? Everybody hand in the middle. That's what I like to see. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
He's just fumbling hands.
Let's go.
I really thought I was gonna win that money. Oh my god. Maybe I was so drunk that people thought.
Okay, now they're deliberately misspelling drunk on the bottom, where it's always just like seltzer salesman ? Now it's drunk ? But in this case it's drunk ?
Thought that I was acting drunk.
Another commercial.
Great. Wait, Ragnar, you directed this, didn't you?
I did.
Oh my god, it's so good and funny.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, what was it like to direct these people?
Guys, no ganging up. Guys, no talking in the back. Can you please be quiet?
It was quite a task. I so wish even I was drunk for it. By the way, your glasses look so nice on you.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's kind of like being a bouncer at a bar. That's a little bit unruly.
Thank you. They're actually from today's sponsor.
Oh my god, here's the Warby Parker sponsor. Oh my god, here we go.
Raise your
And
hand
we're
if
back.
you think that the mole is still in the box.
That was a
and you would
clever
like
way to try
continue
and
the
get you
game.
to watch their ad, though. See you, Jubilee.
I raised my hand too, and then I think the person next to me raised their hand, but no one else raised their hand, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I think we got the mole out. But I don't think we did.
Are we voting right now?
We just did.
If the lights turn green, that means you voted for the mole out and you win the money. If
Or damn it, what if it is Yellow Hat Guy?
the lights turn
What if
red,
it is?
then the mole is still in the box and you lose. So damn
Ah!
I told you! I told you! Bitch, I knew it! I knew it! Redo!
The funny thing is, the truly drunk people are not going to wait for permission to be like, can we point out the person yet? No, they're just going to be like, that one.
Lights turned red. It was Himmel. I knew it. I knew we didn't get him out. I knew we should have done one more round, but I just trusted everyone too much in the moment.
Can the mole please reveal themselves in 3, 2,
What if it's
1,
not Himmel?
go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Got you.
I was shocked. I was so surprised.
That's awesome because never once did I suspect her. Good acting. Really good acting.
Like, she was probably the least.
Because she was doing things where you're like, okay, kind of acting it up, but at the same time, it never felt like over the top for what you would expect like one of your drunk friends to just do when they're dumb and drunk. Like there's an element of just fluidity to the way that they interact with people, and there's a way to finesse it. Yeah, no, Alex, I still believe that.
The furthest person on my radar.
Wait, but how sober were you for 1 to 10? How sober were you for 1 to 10?
0 out of 10.
I was so shocked because she and I were kind of talking outside before.
Look how much her mouth moves when she talks. It's just like this.
And she was drinking out of a bottle.
I guarantee you when she's not drunk, she's not enunciating stuff quite that strongly.
And I was like, okay, so she's drunk with me, but she must have been drinking water or pretending to sip or something.
I used to be a degenerate, and now I don't drink, so I just go out and have fun and act drunk, and that's how I did it. It just takes time to
So she has a lot of practice.
really like love yourself and gain that confidence wherever you're at to know like, I don't need something to be myself and be as fun as I want to be. Like I can just do it sober. Woo.
That's wholesome though.
All right, okay, can everybody else step out except for Kelly?
Okay. Sorry.
We're stepping out?
I'm sorry.
I hope Cody co-reviews this video.
Is there a possibility that if we sniff each other, that
Oh my God.
person might smell really different?
That's right. It's a win-win-win for Dewar. There you go. Oh boy. Yeah, no, that was a good one. That was a fun one. Let's take a look at this this list. What else do we got? I'm thinking we take a I'm having a lot of fun with these Jubilee videos, but I don't know if you guys like get bored of them at all. So I kind of want to mix it up between Cut and Jubilee, but I think I'm on a kick for some more Jubilee content. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Did that one. We did that one. If we keep up the theme, do you think you guys could suss out who went to private school and who went to public school? Is that a fun one? Or are you matching a voice to a person? That feels like one that throw people. Let's hear some funny voices.
Can you sing me a song?
Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Wow. Don't bring around a cloud of rain on my...
Actually, you're right, Alex. Before we do this one, let's check out the Fat and Fit influencers. That might be a really interesting one. 6 actors versus 1 fake actor. I already watched You Suck at Investing, so moving that. Yeah, okay. Now these middle ground ones are like where they deliberately touch on like controversial subjects. Obviously there's some where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not even gonna touch that with a 20-foot pole. But at the same time, like some of these I feel like, oh, it might be interesting just to see what people say. So yeah, let's check it out.
Hey y'all, do you love middle ground? I know I do. Did you know that every purchase made at the Jubilee shop helps fund this show? If you're looking for ways to support Jubilee and watch more episodes of Middle Ground, make sure you check out our merch at shop.jubileemedia.com. Now enjoy this episode.
When I hear the term fat influencer, I'm thinking like an unhealthy standard being set. I just can't get behind being complacent.
Well, I want to say that it doesn't mean complacency.
My name's Timothea, and fitness has been a huge part of my life, and I love to share what I know about it. Overall, it's just a way of life.
My name is Tyler. I'm a fat influencer, and on my platform, I like to spread body positivity, mental health awareness, and fashion, looking good while fat.
So when I think of the word fat influencers, I think of influencers who are either promoting others to be fat in the same sense that fitness influencers promote fitness.
I don't like people that obsess over being fat, just like I don't like people that obsess over fitness. I'm in my own fitness journey and a lot of people like it because I'm not the stereotypical dude.
The misconception that the opposite side has of me is that I have some agenda to keep people fat, to promote obesity, to tell anybody anything about their size.
Step forward if you agree. I promote healthy standards as an influencer.
Man, there was some discomfort there.
think we need to discuss what healthy means first.
Yeah, because I can definitely see, like, okay, from a physical health, and physical health does, influence mental health to a degree, but I do think there's a certain point where, obviously, we're going to touch on this, but people are in a situation where they're uncomfortable with themselves, or they feel like, okay, society views them as, just useless or whatever awful thing you want to say. Yeah, that's obviously not good for you either. There's a certain level of acceptance where, okay, you can accept that this is how you are now, but are you willing to change things? Are you able to change things? That's where all this stuff needs to be hashed out. But, yeah, okay, looking over here, you ain't seen this thickness, boy. Off topic, Dai Yoshihara is entering his R33 GTR to SEMA. Oh, that'll be cool. I'll be fitting this big Juds in my mouth. See, Alex, we can have fun here.
Because healthy means many different things. So, like, what does
I feel
health
like
mean to
Anthony
you
should be
guys?
watching this one with
For
us.
me, I don't focus on diet and weight loss as a tool for health and how I communicate that. I focus on movement and finding movement that works for you, that feels good and is sustainable in your body. Because ultimately, I think everybody would agree, movement is healthy, exercise is healthy. In the fitness world, and I myself am a yoga instructor, so I kind of straddle both sides. I think there's an overemphasis on physicality and diet and exercise.
Personally, I'm a fat guy, and I've been tired of being a fat guy. And I've actually been told that my approach to it is a little bit extreme. So, I'll do like 24-hour fasts, I'll do intermediate fasting, liquid diets, things like that. Some people say it's an unhealthy habit. They say like I got an eating disorder, but at the same time, I am seeing results. I do feel like I can run faster, jump higher, walk longer.
I don't know where he
like
started
when I hear
at,
the
so it's
term
hard
fat
to say.
Influencer, I'm thinking like an unhealthy standard being set. I just can't get behind being complacent.
Well, I want to say that it doesn't mean complacency, right? So a little bit about me is that I was a 3-sport athlete almost my entire life, went to college and played a sport. And then I decided, I've always been, a big person, and I was able to manipulate my weight because I also wrestled. So I would bulk up for football season, lose for wrestling, and rinse and repeat. Because of that, though, now my approach is really just about making sure that you take care of your total self. So your mind and your body, and also just making sure that you check in with, medical professionals. I work in healthcare, and so I don't tend to take advice from people who are not medical professionals.
And I would just like to speak up, we're all different. Yeah, there are fat influencers out there that have unhealthy lifestyles that share it, but that's their lifestyle. There are fat influencers that are motivational, that are trying to lose weight. There are fat influencers out there that just are existing in this world and trying to make it accommodating to themselves and people that look like them. So there are so many fat people in this world, and to label them all a certain way or to put them in a category where they have to perform to make you feel comfortable is disingenuous. It's not good.
That's what kind of upset me. That's why I started my journey at the end of the day, was because
Why did I get the feeling that this guy was going to be a little on the reactionary side of things? He already kind of gave the vibe, but yeah, no, I can already kind of tell where this one's going.
I was depressed. I lost my job in the midst of COVID.
I mean, there's probably a little self-loathing in there and other things, but hey, if he's improving his life in a way that he feels is meaningful and it's making him feel better day by day, then okay, as long as he's not actually damaging his health.
And I'm unhappy with who I am, and then I see someone on social media that's like, it's okay to be who you are.
All right,
And
Alex, have a great night.
You're telling me that the way I feel is okay, but at the end of the day, I hate how I feel. And so it was kind of out of protest that I started this journey. And I'm damn glad I did. At the end of the day, you're doing a disservice to the people around you that care about you, whether it be close, relatives, society, etc. And to see someone use a platform like that as a fellow fat kid my entire life, it just pissed me off.
I hear what you're saying, and it's valid. I've been fat my entire life. I was a fat kid, fat teenager, fat adult, just fat. And that is not my story. And I see that played out over and over and over again in the world, in art, in TV and movies, like the sad fat trope, nobody's gonna want you, and that plays into the way we treat fat people, but that is not everybody's story. So to, like, I hear that you were sad, you were unhealthy, you were uncomfortable, you were isolated, like we all can all.
Damn it, I totally spilled water on myself. Sorry, I was trying to listen to this very important message.
I'll relate to that, but that is not the story of every fat person.
I am on a journey to like myself in my skin, and that is something I believe is obtainable through hard work and dedication. I mean, nothing else worked, you know? Loving yourself, quote unquote, made me eat KFC 3 times a day and gain a lot of weight.
That's not good.
Turned sedentary. Hating myself encouraged me to be different and encouraged me to change my life. And as a result, I've influenced thousands of kids younger than me's lives.
Fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming.
And when you think about
When
it,
you
there's
thin
damage
shame
in
somebody,
both. But
it is based off of aesthetic. Like, oh, you're so skinny. I wish I could be like that. I wish I could eat whatever I want and stay skinny. There are these assumptions we have about people in fat bodies that we don't place on thin people, even if they're thin beyond health. And it really makes it so that fat people are overlooked, and it creates an environment where it's okay to perpetuate hate and even violence, you know?
Being thin won't limit you from being able to shop where you want to shop. You can walk into a clothing store, get clothes right off the rack, sometimes even have excess. You could go up or down the rack. In my experience, those are not my options. I shop online because I wear a size 15 shoe, because I'm 6'2", and I have a very broad body.
The skinny shaming, you know, there is that backhanded compliment. You know, you see that all the time. But when it comes to the fat shaming, you just see more negative out of it. And I just, you know, it's horrible to see.
But being fat is still taboo, believe it or not.
Yeah.
My partner and I'm a gay man, dating another fat black gay man, and we have gone viral on the internet a couple times. And you know what some of the comments were? Never seen 2 fat people together. I get pats on the back for posting a picture at the beach with no shirt on. Why am I being patted on the back for that?
Right.
Can the disagreeer step forward?
Well, when I hear fat shaming, skinny shaming, all that stuff, I just think back to like middle school, high school, you know, picking on kids. It's bullying. I believe everyone goes through body dysmorphia. One of my homegirls is a model, and she's always complaining how she doesn't like the way she looks, even though like 99% of all women would probably prefer they looked like her. She hates the way she looks, and she's like, I wish my boobs were bigger. I wish my butt was bigger. I believe, you know, that's the media, that's the entertainment industry, is they have a standard of what, at the end of the day, is desired, I guess, but not everyone's built like Marilyn Monroe.
You said 99% of women would probably want to look like her. That's to me, some of the language that is the problem, is that I'm assuming that she's probably of a thinner body, right? Because
now, I will say right now, as far as all this stuff is concerned, this is definitely like bringing the mood down a little bit. This is important stuff to the people it affects, of course, but at the same time, I also think at about 10:30 at night, and we're here, and I'm kind of bouncing on some like higher energy stuff. I do think maybe I'll give this one a rest for now, because you know I'm looking to end on a higher note here. But this is also something people can be free to check out. If they want to check this out on your own, obviously the channel is Jubilee. You can look in their backlog of videos. There are many to choose from, but I think I'm going to move on just for the sake of, you know, keeping things from getting a little too down. Yeah, what else do we have? We had... Oh, that's right. I'm going to watch... You know what? I'm just going to watch somebody fix up this old Nintendo 64 or yoga instructors versus one fake. I mean, the Marines see eye to eye. 6 couples and 1 fake couple. 6 theater. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm saving that one for another. For vegan. Oh dear. Yeah. So we basically got a huge backlog of all these different ones I've got pulled up. obviously, yeah, this is one of those things where I'm probably just going to pull up a different. What do we got? TV screens make watching movies worse. I don't know. Okay, let's watch a noodle video. Gonna change it up again. That's the thing. Tonight, I've been bouncing around to all kinds of different videos, but once again, I'm gonna do it. So,
Hi. The video you're about to watch was
yeah. Pop that over here. Let's watch some noodle.
Hi. The video you're about to watch was originally rendered entirely in virtual reality. But after lots of people rightly complained about YouTube VR's controls sucking ass, and the video being completely unwatchable on certain phones or stomachs, I've decided to bust it down early to mid-2000s Pixar home release DVD style. Click the top right to watch this video the way it was intended. Thanks for watching, and remember, I'm watching too.
A wise guy once said that from the moment home video became a thing, every movie had two lives. The first at the theater, and the second, much longer one, at home. For better or worse. For as long as there's been a difference between watching movies on the big screen and the little boy, there's been a discourse, a conflict you might say, over which is the best way to watch videos at home actually. Should this cool JPEG fit the screen or fill the screen? How big should it be? What size of the screen should be even? Is he behind you? Oh, not anymore. Should the media adapt to the medium or should the medium adapt to the media? And at what point does artistic merit become more or less valuable than accessibility? I thought this was gonna be a pretty easy video, just slap together, tide you over for the Halo video. 3 months later, I don't even know if I'm sneezing on the surface of this shit. What was supposed to be a fun little filler video about the quirky black bars on the screen is like morphed into this tangled mess of ideas and concepts, conflicting ideologies on accessibility and artistic merit, expression versus limitations, screen sizes, theaters, VR, remasters that make things worse, Zack Snyder, Pixar movies getting re-rendered, 30 years of heated debate between consumers, distributors, directors, movie rental stores, my dad, and most of their opinions are fucking stupid. The kicker is that a lot of the problems we're dealing with today are the exact same ones we were dealing with 40 years ago, before I was so much as a cum. Back in 1904, most people's screens were not only the size of an amoeba, but they were also very square. This was good and cool.
4x3, baby.
And then there was VHS.
Oh my god, Blade Runner.
Suddenly, movies meant for massive screens that engulfed viewers would have much longer second lives.
People's homes with tiny screens, fuzzy video, and crap sound. If you are old and gay, happy Pride Month in advance. You may remember this being a pretty huge point of disagree from the 80s onward.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It's expected to be one of the all-time home video bestsellers, but when Spielberg requested it be released in the widescreen or letterbox format, Paramount protested. They said there was resistance to letterboxing from video dealers and from the general public.
The thing I really want to emphasize here is that screen sizes were, for the most part, treated as an inherent limitation. Movies were made for the theater first, and the tape, the only way many people would ever experience the thing, second. For the longest time, you didn't have a choice. You got what you got, and what you got was usually pan and scan, a busted up fan edit of the movie that actually played in theaters. Here, let me show you what I mean. Here's a shot from Bus. It's a pretty standard medium shot. Like it's a bit tight, but decent enough. It fits in both characters. I am lying to you. This was a lie. Here's what it actually looked like. You got cropped out of a movie he was in.
Yeah, that sucks.
Let's look at both versions at the same time by splitting our own screen. Notice that in the letterbox version, you see both actors all the time. But in the cropped or panned and scanned version below, you see either Connery or Harrison Ford. One actor is always missing, and so is the dynamic of the two of them looking at each other during the whole scene.
These aren't like, really offensive examples. This was the standard. Moments like these were constantly being lost in the conversion from one format to the other. What's less obvious, though, is how much the pacing and framing are negatively affected, too.
I talked to Steven Spielberg recently about letterboxing, and he was feeling fairly frustrated. He says that panning and scanning, where they take the widescreen picture and look at first part of it and then another part of it, that turns long shots into medium shots and medium shots into close-ups, and it puts cuts where he didn't have any cuts.
And it still gets worse. Directors, cinematographers, animators, not YouTubers, cameramen, they all put lots of thought into shot composition, It's not just what you show that makes a picture nice to look at, it's how you show it. And in the same way that cropping out a character leaves you with less information, cropping out half a scene leaves you with less balance. It looked bad. Pan and scan is dumb and stupid. But for me, the worst part of it is that it was an issue that it became an issue of accessibility. It was basically impossible to
No, but literally, when you're watching these things, it's like watching a completely different movie. Yes, the information is there, technically, but you're losing so much of it that the impact, be it emotional or technical or any of the other stuff, it just does not have that same punch. And yeah, it's really frustrating, but thinking back to growing up, yeah, that was just the way we did it, because you just assumed that was all you got. You had to choose. Remember, I realize some people are too young to have experienced this, but literally just going and picking out, do you get the letterbox version or do you get the pan and scan version? Because you're making a very strong difference between, okay, do I have a big enough TV it's gonna work with the letterbox version, or is it gonna be pinched and look too small? Or you end up having the full screen version, but you're losing a lot of information in the process. DVDs did the same thing. Yeah, right up until, Blu-rays and HD DVDs, you still had DVDs that were operating with non-widescreen setups. You had to buy the widescreen version or the full screen version, but they were two movies. It's the same movie, but you had to buy both if you wanted to experience them one way or the other. It's stupid.
Experience movies properly outside the movie theater. There was a set amount of time you could see any film the way it was intended to be seen, and when that opportunity went away, it was gone for 20 plus years, the only remaining option being to watch a mangled, butchered version of it on your very cool, but also probably bad TV.
We're pretty spoiled now.
Look, I know this is a bad time, but I gotta piss. Here, just watch this.
Hi. If you're watching this, it means I had to take a piss. Originally, this part of the video featured a sponsorship, but instead, today you'll be seeing a mid-roll. If you didn't just see a mid-roll, YouTube may have simply decided not to serve you one. Otherwise, you're one of two things. A YouTube Premium member, in which case thanks. Or you're an ad blocker, in which case...
Hey, thanks for waiting. Eventually, as it became clear that this wasn't going to stop, some shows and movies would begin to make both widescreen and full-screen versions in-house,
that's what I was talking
instead of it
about.
being handled by the paper cup in the office, manufactured in China, 1986, preserved in time by me, currently located Peace District Park, Austin, Texas, coordinates 3028 -9775. Check it out. Most common was a technique called shoot and protect, which is where you make the thing in one ratio, like with Michael Ogre here, but keep everything you need inside a safe zone so that when it's inevitably cropped, nobody misses out on anything important.
Zone.
This is smart, but it is also fucking suck, because it means that nobody framing these shots had the ability to take full advantage of either ratio, leading to shots like this that are full of negative space for no reason, or this, where Edward Donkey makes a joke about something that's not on the screen yet.
Yeah, and there's that bush that's shaped like Shirley Bassey. We passed that bush 3 times already.
Now, Pixar, they had the coolest solution. They weren't content to just pan, scan, or protect.
We developed in-house a whole suite of tools and a whole system for getting the film onto video in a way that we're all happy with. We don't feel we've made any compromises.
After finishing the theatrical version, they went back and decided shot for shot how to completely reformat everything on screen, whether to zoom in, zoom out, pan and scan, or even just move characters around to make every shot work. It's so cool. Movies made this way were truly the perfect solution.
Different
Neither
movie.
accessibility nor artistic merit were sacrificed.
But that only works if it's an animated movie. Second you have a live action movie, did you shoot coverage? Did you have other... No, probably not.
Everyone could be sure that no matter how they chose to watch, they weren't just getting all the information they needed, but they were getting an experience tailor-made for their setup, regardless of what it was.
We are so proud of A Bug's Life on video because you are going to see A Bug's Life the way we intended it.
Wait, I think you got something there. Let me just... Oh. You now have piss ear. In case you were born yesterday, happy birthday. It goes without saying nowadays that there are a lot less limitations to factor in. TVs today are shaped in the 16:9 ratio. This is a compromise. It sits between both extremes, and so you don't gotta shrink anything too much to fit it properly. Picture and sound have improved a whole lot. Being able to count the pores on Doug Walker's face is now normal, and most of us have grown used to the letterboxing and pillarboxing of anything that's not a video game. We have learned our lesson.
Kind of.
You may remember
This
the
is a
recent
lie.
controversy surrounding The Simpsons released on Disney Plus, which was vertically panned and scanned on release.
Ugh.
This was a genuinely awful way to watch the show.
Ugh.
There were several jokes that were just straight up cut out of the frame.
How? I heard about that, but I didn't actually watch it. I didn't realize it was that bad. Jeez.
Fans made such a big stinky about it in the socials that Disney ended up creating a feature that allows you to actually choose which version you'd rather see. Less fortunate is Seinfeld. For a number of reasons. Another show produced entirely in 4:3, the latest release, currently on Netflix, was upscaled to 4K for some reason and pan and scanned across the board. Again, jokes were just missing. And again, this elicited a reaction big enough online to make headlines. As far as I can tell, Netflix has yet to even acknowledge it.
Yikes.
God, old stuff on a modern display should be so simple. And yet here we are with Robin Hood, a case that gets more fucked up the more you know about it. The whole movie was animated in 4:3, right? But no, not really. They had a safe zone of 16:9 because when it played in theaters, they chopped off the top and bottom.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was like this because that's just how projectors worked back then. Movies came to the theater in 4:3 because that's
finally
just
a Paul
how they were
Allen
shot.
reference.
And the cropping happened
Hey,
physically
Paul.
by matting the top and bottom of the projector lens. But what you ended up with here were countless home video releases that were actually zoomed out compared to their theatrical cuts. By the way, when Robin Hood came out, this was the average TV size. The cherry on top is that even though the DVD copy is also in 4:3, it says on the back in fine print that this version is presented in its original theatrical ratio, which we have just established to be demonstrably false. I read this and thought I was an insane man. So when I saw that the HD remaster of the thing for Blu-ray and Disney Plus was released in 1.67:1, I asked my local psych ward if they take Visa. So like it's cropped, right? But not all the way cropped? It's zoomed in, but it's not the full 16:9 people saw in theaters. It's neither. Why would you do this? You know, you could make an argument for this or this being the right way to watch it. I'm really glad that Disney decided that the only option for people today was neither. Fuck you. Probably the weirdest and most confusing part of all of this is IMAX. This is unfortunately the part where I have to talk about Justice League. I know. I'm sorry. For those underneath rocks, Justice League is a re-release of the movie Justice League, directed by Zack Snyder and released in good old 4:3. I could be wrong on this, but what I think a lot of people missed about this whole shenanigan is why Snyder chose a stupid shape for his movie. He doesn't just like boxes. In truth, the reason that this thing was made this way is because it was specifically made for IMAX theaters. Now, there were a lot of Limax theaters out there, but true IMAX is actually really interesting. Mostly due to technical shit that boils down to, it'll okay to sound good, but there is one thing they can do that no other theater can. They can actually expand their ratio from ultra-wide all the way into 1.43, which is almost 4:3. Snyder saw the size of a true IMAX screen in the theater and screamed hamana hamana awooga, then shat and came, which is understandable. I would never do such a thing, but you must admit, screens do be large. Long story short, the IMAX experience left such an impression on old Zach that he decided to produce an entire movie for these screens, which is a genuinely cool idea and one that I'm not opposed to. In theory. Here's a catch. Of the nearly 6,000 movie theaters currently operating in the US, less than 30 are full-frame IMAX theaters. Snyder had effectively created a movie that less than 1% of his audience would ever see the way he actually intended. The rest of us saw Joss Whedon's Justice League. We all lost, but some of us chose to lose twice. IMAX done poorly isn't a new thing either. Transformers 5 is a nauseating movie to watch, partially because it changes ratio almost every cut, partially because I have yet to watch it sober. What you gotta understand though, is that these are outliers. The standard good approach to filming for multiple ratios in the theater was actually established by one of the first movies ever to do it, The Dark Knight. Yeah, I am a film enthusiast, and yeah, I am white. Here's how the movie opened in IMAX.
You smell pissier.
Chris Nolan North's movies, even when they're released on Blu-ray, have a bit of a habit of occasionally inflating like this, but only to as far as a standard TV would allow. The same thing that you'd see in any IMAX theater that can't do a whole-ass floor-to-ceiling projection. This is not a perfect solution, but all expanded scenes were shot to protect, and so even a completely cropped version is still always properly framed and totally watchable. Unlike Dune, which got fucked up. Director Dennis says his movie was designed to be seen in IMAX. He's all about the physical size of the thing factoring into the language of the film, which, you know, makes sense considering the subject matter. But again, how many people are ever going to actually have the chance to see it that way? The only way to watch Dune right now is fully cropped, no matter if you're streaming it or own it physically, whatever. Now that the movie's out of theaters, the only way to watch this thing the way the creator truly intended is to go back in time. You know, it's cool. It is. It's cool that filmmakers are finding new ways to push cool shit out they ass. But is it worth it if only a privileged few are ever going to be able to see that work at its best? This is a really complicated question to answer, and everyone's going to have their own response. But for me, the most important thing is that more people have the opportunity to see movies like Dune the way their creators intended, which at the moment is impossible. Unless... This! You're wearing a potential solution! Maybe, hopefully, VR! That's why this whole video
was originally in VR.
It's the only way I could properly show you the size, depth, and scale of what I've been talking about. Watching a movie has always been an experience limited by your environment. But when your environment can be anything you want, the only limits become your budget, your time, comfort level, mass adoption, distribution, pixel density, sound quality, and the fucking sky, dude! I know, it's not a practical solution. But if headsets keep getting better like they have been lately, I can see them being a great way to watch stuff in the near future. In the meantime, it just bothers me that I'm being told left and right that the ideal way to watch things I really like are just completely unattainable. In the past, I've ranted about how much I believe artistic intent to be paramount, like The Company. And I mostly still agree with that sentiment, but if there's one thing even more important to me than being able to watch things the way God intended, it's being able to decide for yourself which way is best for you. This ties into something Mr. Weird director Scott Derrickson said about Disney's recent choice to let people watch IMAX versions of Marvel movies at home. Interestingly, he never intended for the expanded version of his movie to be seen outside the theaters, because, as he puts it, you'll inevitably be observing the frame, whereas in theaters, you're almost inside it. At the end of the day, though, what I appreciate the most about this is where he lands at the end. I'm not bothered that Disney gives viewers the option, I just said that it wasn't my intention. If people want to watch it that way, that's up to them. For as much as I despise Disney Plus as a concept, and for as much of a nightmare as the gaming side of all of this is, at least both of these give people options, access to whichever version they want to see. I don't think that's too much to ask of most media.
And it's over. Whew.
Hi,
All
thanks
right.
for watching.
If you couldn't tell, I'm almost falling asleep here for whatever reason. It's just hitting me. Oh, man. Okay. Well, since we pretty much lined this whole thing out, we're set for the night. Don't know. Maybe we'll do something later this week, perhaps. I know I may do something on Saturday, but probably not tomorrow. I don't know. I'll play it by ear. We're probably going to actually play some Sea of Thieves or some Forza or something. Maybe mix it up a little bit. I do have my new gaming monitor over here, so I'll actually think about plugging my Xbox into this. We can actually do things that way. That way I can actually run it off of my system that I've set up. But, yeah. I think that's it. I am absolutely falling asleep. Yeah. So anyway, music. Ta-da. There we go. Yes, Dane's Deflated Pool. Nice to see you were still here. I know, we hung on until the very end, but I just want to see that because sometimes I get hooked on some kind of niche interest stuff, but, you know, what can you do? When you have my brain, you kind of want to touch on a whole bunch of different subjects, so make the most of it. But have yourself a good night. Thank you for watching, and to everybody who tuned in, a big appreciated thank you from me. And still trying to get to that number 50. We're 45. Very close. I'm just trying to bring in a few more folks. So if we can build that up, I would really, really like to see that go in the not too distant future. But yeah, that's it. So have a good night. Catch you guys later. And yeah, we'll see where we end up later this weekend. All right. Have a good night.